Yo, what's good? We live. Let's get it. Smash the like button as you come through, man. All right, goddamn, mic check. Can you hear me? Somebody let me know if you can hear me around this mug, man. Please tell me that the problem has been resolved. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check 3 4. All right, we good. Dang, bro. They trying to hate on me, man. All right, let's try this again, man. Here we go. There it is. As I was saying, what's good, man? Welcome to another episode. Let's get it. Smash the like button as you come in the building. Punch the like button as you come in the building. Drop kick the like button as you come in the building. What I'm saying is I need y'all to get the likes up, basically, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the TKO Debate Series has returned tonight. And we got another debate on Monday night, too. We going back to back like Drake. Tonight, this is a debate that started because I was cooking a Terence Crawford fan so bad. I don't know if y'all remember the green bean debate. Me versus collard greens, me versus turnip greens, me versus green. I was doing them so dirty. Well, while I was doing him dirty, there was a debate going on in the chat. It was between Kwame from Loyal to the Game Boxing Talk. And it was between King David from Box or Die. They called each other out. They asked for the smoke. So we set up the smoke. As you can only see on Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Hit the like button one time. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. I hope y'all really have a good time tonight. If you drink beer, get your beer. If you drink wine, get your wine. If you drink liquor, get your liquor. If you participate in rolling one up, do that too. Whatever you need to do to kick back and enjoy a good show tonight, man. Just do that. That's what I'm saying, bro. Let's go, man. Hey, DJ G5 Gay. Get that speaker turned off, man. DJ G5 Gay, man. Drop that intro on them one time, man, so we can get the show started and see who in the building, man. Drop that shit, bro.
TKO Debate Series. We lit tonight. Y'all come through, man. Y'all know how we gonna show up and show out. See y'all all in the building.
What's up with y'all, man? Welcome to another episode of Knockout Boxing 86 TV. It's me, your boy Knockout, and we back with another episode of the TKO Debate Series. Let's see who we got in the building so far. I got 77 people in the building, and I only got 68 likes. I need y'all to hit that damn like button one time for the one time. Let's see who we got, man. Mr. Mechanical. What's up with it, bro? Mr. Mechanical in the building. Omega Red in the building. Anthony Chulo, you know what up. Cash Crypto, Thrill Hill, Todd Swindle in the building. Edgar Chavez, not me. What up with it? Chi-Town Finest in the building. What up, bro? What's good with you? Edgar Chavez. Yeah, no audio. Yeah, bro. Man, I don't know what be going on, bro. Kwame, one of the contestants, has entered the arena. He's currently doing warm-ups. He's studying his notes. He's looking at film. He's ready to go. We got Kwame. Volts UK in the building. I'm at work tomorrow, so I'm staying up for this one. Salute KO in the chat. Salute to you, Volts UK in the building. I wasn't tardy, not me. They were hating on me. We got Specs in the building. We got Dominic done slid up in here. My daughter Jada's in the building. Sheena's here. True Native 401 in the building. Who else we got? Carmen Serene is in the building. We got Tay MMA in the building. Ronnie Bravo. D Free, one of our judges, has came through. Shout out to D Free, Tay and the entire TWT team doing their thing. We got Philly Bull. What up, boy? What up, homie? What up, Philly Bull? I see you, Georgia Peach Denise in the building. Sean Clark done slid up in here. What up, Sean? It's good with you, bro. Who else we got, man? Who else? Mac of the South. Mac of the South. KQKC Boxing Network. The singing OG is in the building. Not me say you cooking on Usyk and Fury ducking Usyk. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about it tonight, man. We'll talk about it tonight for a little bit before we get the debate started. Truth Speaks, what up? Salute to you, Truth Speaks in the building. Who else we got, man? William Old School, I see you, bro. I see you, man. Up in this thing. It jumped on me. That means some people came in. That's what KQ said. So that's what I'm saying. I heard KQ say that shit today when I was listening to him. He said it jumped on me. So it must mean some new people came in here. So I'm gonna start saying that shit. Antonio MMA, what up, man? Salute to you. I'm gonna use it because the OG used it. Shit, work for him, work for me. Shit. Skills from New Orleans, what up, man? I see you in the building, bro. Who else, man? Trap, what up? Trap Media USA. Fight never happening. See what they done did to Trap, man. Trap used to be an optimistic brother. He used to believe in this fight. Now Trap say this fight ain't happening. Drink more water in the building. Another Bud EJ debate. That's what they want. But don't worry. I got a Jamel Charlo Alexander Usyk debate coming on Monday, Drink. So since you're complaining about this one, your ass better be in the building on Monday. But did what they wanted to do, Drink. When I was cooking your boy Green Beans, String Beans, Green, when I was cooking him, they got to going back and forth in the chat. You know, we don't do the chat. You know, we let them come up here. We let them come up here and do their thing, Drink. You know how we do. So, shit, they going to come up here and they going to do their thing, man. We handle it like men in the debate arena, Drink. God damn it. Devon Soner, what up, bro? Is it Soner or is it Sonier? Hey, is it Soner or is it Sonier, bro? Asante L, what up, man? The standing 8 count. What up, man? Salute to you. Jay Nori, what's good, bro? What's good, man? Who else is slid through? I'm going to say what's up to Omega Reggie because they're my homeboy and they're one of my day one supporters and he light skinned like me. So I'm going to say what's up to him again. I don't care what y'all say. TJ, what up? What up, TJ? TJ, we doing the show and we got the ESPN card up. I'm not missing nothing. TJ. Colbert Rayo breakdown. I already shot the video, man. And you remember, you're going to get that shit tonight or first thing in the morning. It's uploading right now. Bro. I got you. Don't worry. You know I got you. I'm doing that whole card. I got Colbert and Rayo coming. I got Cody Crowley and Abel Ramos coming. I got Jesus Ramos and Joey Spencer coming. And I got David Benavidez and Caleb Plant coming. And if I got time tomorrow, I might shoot Lawrence Okoli versus David Light. It just depends on what my day look like tomorrow. But I got the rest of the Showtime card coming for sure, TJ. I got you. Josh Sanders, what up? Right side in the building. What up, bro? I see you. I see you. Ratchet since 91. Not 92, since 91, bro. Let me see here. Shit, he got more. He got more than a live opponent. He got more. Like, Plant Benavidez card pretty good. Joey Spencer got a live opponent. He got more than a live opponent. Cobra got a good fight on his hand. It's more than a good fight. He in a fight for his life, bro. The man, listen. They card lit, man. T-Bone Boxing. What's good with you, bro? GD, what up? Let's slide through. ATX, my brother ATX, Slab Life Cletus. What up? What up, bro? Daryl Thigpen, I see you. Who else we got, bro? Who else done slid up in here, man? He said Sonier. All right. Sonier. I got you, bro. We're gonna have some good. We're gonna have someone make some good points when defending Bud tonight. Yeah, KD usually be cooking, bro. KD be cooking, dog. KD got some. He be cooking, bro. Who else we got, man? I'm rocking with Billy tonight. Me too. Prediction up on the channel. Me too. I think we agreed on both accounts. I believe Joey taking the L. All right. We'll see, man. All right, bro. Look, man. Thank Father. What up? Look, man. Not me. He asked me to talk about it, so I'm gonna talk about it. I wasn't planning on talking about it, but shit. When you are a member to the channel and you make a request, I'm gonna listen to you. He said he want to talk about Fury and Usyk to start the show. So I got this to say. Fury should have to drop his goddamn belt. Now he talking about retiring again. They didn't make the fight. The WBC should strip his ass or order a mandatory and strip him. But either way, he can't hold up the division no more. He can't hold up the division no more. Alexander Usyk, they say he going into negotiations with Daniel Dubois, the regular WBA champion. The same Daniel Dubois who got his eye broke by Joe Joyce. The same Daniel Dubois, you know what I'm saying, who was in there with a cruiserweight that was supposed to be a soft touch, you know what I'm saying? A soft touch, and he almost got his ass knocked out by him. That's who Usyk probably about to fight, bro. Who calling me? They know I'm live, bro. My bad. That's probably who Usyk about to fight. So, all in all, bro, it's a travesty. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. This is what I noticed, right? It's crazy that everybody that wanted Undisputed so badly when Wilder was pushing for his rematch with Fury, everyone that wanted Undisputed so badly, then they ain't really got no smoke for old Fury and Usyk right now, bro. I ain't really hearing that much smoke out here for them, but Usyk should have to defend against a better luck. Like, I know Dubois is a regular WBA championship, but I'd rather see Usyk defend against Joe Joyce, defend against Wilder, defend it. Like, it's so many better fights out there for him, bro, than fucking Daniel Dubois, in my opinion. Now, as I said with Fury, after him like ducking out the fight, they should either strip him or make him fight a mandatory, bro. He did this shit. He did this shit last time, bro. He did this shit last time. Remember, he was supposed to retire and he held up. Then boom, they announced the Dillian White fight. Like, bro, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stop that shit, man. You gotta stop that shit. Here come woke. We ain't talking about Tank tonight, bro. You want to talk about Tank every day. You want to talk about Tank every day, bro. Oh, I just dropped the video on that. I don't know about the y'all. Catch me up on the Tyson shit. Are y'all saying Floyd can't be jealous of Tank? Catch me up. I got some time. Catch me up. Let's talk about what he did with Floyd. What did he do with Floyd first? But that's what I think of it, not me. I think that Tyson. You say Tyson Fury tried, but Tyson Fury is the one that pulled away. To my knowledge, didn't Usyk sign everything? I want both of like I think Usyk should be able to defend against a better opponent than Daniel Dubois, and I think Tyson Fury should have to fight a mandatory, bro. You couldn't make the undisputed fight. All right, cool. You just had a voluntary with what's the dude name? You just had a voluntary with Dillian White, so you should have to fight a no Usyk try. Yeah, I ain't mad at Usyk. It's Fury, bro. Usyk, I don't want him to fight Daniel Dubois though, bro. I'd rather it's better fights out there for him. But if he got to, he got to. Shout out to Philly Zoe and that cash out with the $5. I appreciate you, bro. As far as Tyson Fury though, mandatory or retire, bro, or get stripped. No more playtime for you. Like, I'm not in good conscience gonna be calling for Jamal Charlo to have to fight Carlos Adames and not come back to some easy touch fight, or he should just, be the champion in recess and then be able to fight for his belt when he's ready to fight for his belt against Adames and quit holding up the division for Adames, and then say that Tyson Fury get to hold up the division on his part, bro. I ain't with that shit. Shout out to DJ with the $2 in super chat. Unpopular opinion: this easy work for Colbert. Damn. Okay. You think? Oh man, I don't trust neither one of them. But I specifically don't trust a dude that nutted up and quit in his last fight. And I don't trust anybody that go to the beauty salon instead of the barbershop. Yeah, I ain't making my official pick yet. I'm just saying, easy work, man. Man, look, bro. All I know is I don't trust a man that go to the beauty salon instead of the barbershop. Unless you like getting some cornrows, like unless you got some braids you getting, but you still got the fade and shit. Like, that's one thing. The braid, I used to have the braids. I used to have the cornrows and shit. But when you getting your shit dyed, bro, I don't know about that. I be who I be. What up? But let me see what Woke talking about, because he said what Tyson said. Tyson said only comparison between him and Tank is they both get in trouble. Tank said, true, I'm more skilled than you. What did he say that was wrong? This the shit with y'all, bro. Now, y'all got to stop the hate, bro. Because I love when Devin Haney is confident. I love when Shakur Stevenson is confident. I love when they talk their shit. They the best. Can't nobody see them. Can't nobody do what they do. They own their shit. Tank show y'all a little bit of confidence and you mad at him. You saying he crazy and shit. Like, I don't get that shit, bro. I don't understand that shit. Like, what y'all want him to say? Yeah, he better than me. Yeah, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing like Mike Tyson got. But in reality, if you want to break the shit down, Tank Davis has better defense than him. Tank Davis is a better counterpuncher than him. Tank Davis has faster hands than him. Like, what y'all want him to do, bro? Like, it's like he can't win with y'all. Like, if I guarantee you, bro. No, he wasn't, bro. No, he wasn't. You could say maybe Mike was more powerful, but again, if you think Mike was more skilled, that ain't even an argument. You on Tank helmet right now simply because he said he think he better. Don't you want fighters to believe in themselves, bro? That shit don't make no sense to me what y'all be doing sometime, bro. Mike does not have better defense, bro. That peekaboo shit, bro, he ain't slipping shit. He ain't rolling and countering shit. He ain't got no pull counter to his game. He ain't got the lateral movement that Tank stops. Y'all know I do this shit, bro. Stop playing with me. Y'all, he ain't got the lateral movement that Tank got. His feet ain't as good. He don't have the angles that Tank got. Come on, bro. Like stop this shit, man. And if you think Mike is better, that's cool. But if y'all literally, like, people really came in here telling me Tank Davis is tripping because he said, yeah, I'm more skilled than Mike Tyson. Bro, y'all bugging. Y'all bugging, bro. Whether you believe it or not, ain't you like, that's just hate right there, dog. I don't care what y'all tell me, bro. I do not care what y'all tell me. That means you gonna hate the man no matter what, bro. Whenever you want, truth speaks. Shit, whenever. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Debate don't start for 30 minutes. Whenever y'all want, bro. I think Woke just trolling, so I'm gonna stop paying attention to him, bro. Now he should be humble, but you love when Devin talk shit. Boy, stop, man. Stop that shit. Cassandra, what's up? Stop that shit, bro. Y'all gotta stop this shit, bro. What's up with you? Talk to me.
My thing is, it's not the fact that he has a healthy confidence. It's just the simple fact that he's like replying to everything, saying, no, I'm better than Tyson. No, I'm better than, like, every little comment and repost, he's like, no, I'm better than Tyson. I do this, that. And first off, I think that's wild that you said Tyson wasn't a better defensive fighter. Yeah, sure, he may not have all the tricks, gadgets, and gadgets that other people have, but that peekaboo style, like, Tyson wasn't getting pieced up until the end of his career.
Okay.
That's my opening statement.
At the end of his career, he was fighting much better fighters, bro. When y'all talk about that peekaboo shit early in his career, he was fighting dudes that wasn't on the level. When he started fighting the Lennox Lewises, the Vander Holyfields of the world, we saw what it was, bro.
So Larry Holmes wasn't on the level?
Larry Holmes was old as shit when Tyson fought him, bro.
And what was he when Tyson fought him?
He was
48-2. He lost 2 straight fights and was off 2 years. That's the only reason Tyson got him like that. He was off 2 years.
Old as shit, bro.
And he didn't have no time to train for that fight. Remember, he only had 4 weeks to train. That's the only reason he lost.
But check it though, right? Check this out, right? So we're criticizing Tank for responding to people. The same shit that we give Shakur and Devin credit for. The same shit that I would tell y'all, man, I love that Shakur go with, like, if Stephen Fulton say something, if this person say something, if that person say something, Shakur gonna let it be known he on their helmet. Devin Haney, if this person say something, if that person say something, he gonna let it be known that, nah, bro, what's up, what's popping. But Tank behave the same way and do the same shit, and y'all still criticize him for it. Like, it's like you want him to talk, right? You want him to talk, his shit. You say he too quiet. Floyd talking for him. Leonard talking for him. He need to talk for himself, be a man, yada, 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 all that shit. Then he does it, and he start popping his shit, and people don't like that either, bro. I don't like, all right, bro. I guess he can't do shit with y'all. It's what it sounds like to me.
Hey, Knockout, man, I think he right on par with Tyson. As far as skill level, the only difference is Tyson walked down them titles, though. Remember, he fought won every title, like IBF, WBC, WBA. So if Tank Davis can do what he, like you said, take down Ryan, take down Devin, take down Shakur, you're looking at maybe a better fighter than Tyson. But I think he's right on par with Mike at this level at 27.
Listen, I ain't even
disagree.
That's just,
you don't think so?
No. Look at the level of competition that Tank has fought so far in his career and the level of competition that Tyson had in his career. Like, yes, if we want to say Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield, yes, that's the creme de la creme. But we're not going to act like Frank Bruno and that Michael Spence, and even at that time, Larry Holmes was just trash.
No. And Tyson's career is over, and that's not even the debate I want to have because it's so opinionated, and we won't know until we see everybody that Tank fights. What does he win? Does he lose? When he does get up there, does he keep knocking people out? We won't know till his career is over. The only thing that I'm steadfast on right now, the only debate or the only conversation that I'm having about this whole situation right now, bro, is to get on Tank's helmet or to criticize him because he believes that he more skilled than Tyson. Bro, that's crazy.
No, I think it's fair. But Knockout, I think it's a fair assessment because at his skill level, like he said, he haven't had the opponents Mike had, but he has some fairly decent opponents, and his skill level is right on. He got better. I think he might have a little better defense than Mike. Mike wasn't perfect out there. Remember, people gave him problems out there. You know what I mean? He got a better knockout percentage at 27 than Mike had. I mean, I think he deserves credit for what he's accomplished.
Right. I mean, all that goes into your level of competition. We can't say that, Tank has gone through murderer's row. Like,
right. But Tyson didn't neither, though. Remember, he hadn't gone through murderer's row by 27. He only fought.
Let me catch the super chat. Let me catch the super chat right quick. Shout out Woke Sports Fan with the 2002. Jay says Tank can't be talking to Mike like that. Dehydrating Ryan Garcia. I mean, I hear you, bro, but you gonna criticize him no matter what he do. So you just want him to shut up. And like you just don't like Tank, bro. Like, and that's cool. Like, do your thing, bro. I ain't mad at that. But I love when all fighters talk shit. When Devin and Shakur and Caleb Plant, I love. It's better for the sport of boxing to tell him to be quiet. Like, you criticize him. So this is what you doing, bro. Like, just to keep it 100 with you. This is what you doing, bro. You criticizing him for the rehydrate. You just put it in the chat, and I heard you say it before too. you criticize him and saying he don't believe in himself because of the rehydration clause and shit. Like you say that in one breath. Then in the very next breath, when he shows that he believes in himself by saying what he think between him and Tyson, you shit on him for that too. So it's safe to say, bro, that you just gonna shit on Tank, no matter what. So I mean, do you?
Only thing I'll say is the difference is he's talking to legends and not like contemporaries. Like him and Tyson, that's never going to happen. So it like
that's who we trying to be, the best that ever put on the gloves, though.
But what do you, like? Mike said something like the way y'all brought it to me. Mike said something about him first, right?
No, it was it was a reporter that asked a question. And basically, Mike just was like, "Hey, we both get in trouble." But he said, "What similarities are there between you and Tank?" I think this was at the Benavidez presser, and so he was just like, "We both get in trouble with the law, but other than that, our styles ain't like." He wasn't like dissing him or nothing like that. He was just like, "Other than that, there's not that much similarities."
Okay, and so y'all saying that Tank dissed Mike Tyson because he said he's more skilled than him.
No, I don't think he dissed him, knockout. I don't think that's a diss. I think what's similar between the two, they both have the power to knock you out with all type of punches, uppercuts, hooks, right hands. That's the similarity. But I think on the footwork, I think Tank is better on his footwork than Mike Tyson. Tyson might be better at closing the ring off. So I think it's an honorable. It's not far fetched. And if he do beat Ryan, Shakur, and Devin, you could put him right up there with Tyson, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't get the notion of shitting on somebody or criticize somebody for talking shit, bro.
Especially when they can back it up. He undefeated. He ain't been beaten.
I don't get that shit, bro.
Yep.
But then when then other people talk shit and we love it, like. That's selective ass shit. That shit.
I'm just saying it's towards the legends. Like it wasn't on no.
So what? Were we criticizing Devin Haney or Bill Haney for saying that his son better than Bernard Hopkins?
But that's not to Bernard Hopkins though. Like that isn't Devin and Bill. Bill gonna hype his son up, but that's not coming from the fighter. If that makes sense.
Man, specific volume, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I have not. God damn it, bro. I gotta check that shit out. I'm gonna pin this shit, man. I'm pinning this shit so I don't forget.
You make a great point, though. His level of opposition, but I think he's about to kick it up, and I think he's showing you the right way to do it. Knockout. This is how you do it. You pimp this sport, and you take the easy ones on the way out. I mean, the hard ones on the way out. Take the easy ones to build up, and then the hard ones on the way out to get the money.
I ain't even saying it. I'm just saying, bro, if we get to the point where we criticizing fighters for believing in themselves and talking a little bit of shit, what we want to do? Go up there and be choir boys and shit? Like I don't get that shit, bro.
But how does
I can't never get with
Mike
that,
Tyson? Prove that he's. How does that help?
He just said he better than Tyson.
But
he
no,
feel
I'm
like
just
he
saying
better
as
than
far
him,
as
bro.
like
Like,
him responding to every little thing that everybody else was tweeting. That's the only thing.
But it ain't like he just going at Mike. He don't win at Devin. He don't win at Shakur. He going at Ryan Garcia. He been going at all of them. And all these, like it ain't like he just chose somebody he can't fight. He told Shakur and Devin, I crack both of y'all. I want to see both of y'all when I get done with Ryan. He talking shit to everybody.
Yeah, right. No, I love that. I love that 100%.
So we love that, but then he can't talk. He can't talk his shit to Mike too. Like, come on, bro. Like that's just nitpick. Yeah. Nah, bro. All that shit. The only way you pay homage is you give him the respect, but it's not talking shit, and it's not even disrespectful to feel like you better than somebody, bro. To feel like, hey, yeah, that dude was great, but I'm better than him. I think I'm more skilled than him. What's wrong with that, bro?
Mayweather said it.
Just the extra tweeting. Like Mike just said it and dropped it, but Tank is like harboring on it.
How many times did he talk about it?
I want to say he made about 4 replies so far that I'm counting. Just like I'm better than you. I do this, and this better than you. I'm like it's like yo, that's not even
crazy. But we like this boxing, right? Like I love that shit. So y'all ain't gonna get me to, you know what I mean? Like I love that shit. I love it when Devin do it, Shakur, Tank, Keyshawn, all of them. Just stand on it is all I'm saying. Just just prove it.
You got to back it up.
You can't never lose, and you got to knock out people as you continue to move up in competition. Something he didn't do, but putting it in the air and saying that that's what you believe to be true, I don't see nothing wrong with it, bro. Like
that's real.
Like I'm gonna get up here and tell you all day, every day. Ain't nobody gonna see me in no motherfucking debate, bro. I'm smoking all y'all. Like I'm gonna talk my shit, and I'm gonna try to bag it up. I don't see nothing wrong with that, bro. I really don't. And now what he do? What he do with the Floyd shit? What y'all talking about with the Floyd shit?
And Floyd said the same thing. He said he better than Ali. He better than Ray Robinson. You know what I
Somebody
mean?
said he was tripping on. Somebody said he was tripping on Floyd too.
Oh,
What
okay.
happened with that?
I ain't hear about that.
I think he called him jealous or something in a tweet or something.
What's good with his Zoom verse? I see you.
I think he said something about, he still got love for him, even though jealousy or something like that.
Oh,
I didn't.
We mad at him. People mad at him for that too.
No, but it's crazy how he cut ties for Floyd, but they're going back for training, and Floyd's still promoting him, and it's just, is this really Tank, or is this all just the setup from the beginning?
Good question. And I have that same fucking question.
Right, me too.
I had that same fucking question. Real talk. D Free, what's up, bro?
What's good, man?
Man, chilling, getting ready for this debate, man. Ready to host this thing, man. You got anything on what we talking about, bro?
Yeah, I hear people upset with Tank because he said he's more skilled than Mike Tyson, but in my opinion, he is more skilled than Mike Tyson. I mean, when I was younger, I was a huge Mike Tyson fan. But as I got older and I started studying the game of boxing a little bit more, I realized those fights that Tyson was having that made him a big name, those guys was nobody. When he got in there with Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield and the top heavyweights, he wasn't doing what he did when he fought those lesser competition. Tank Davis has fought guys on a better level more times than Mike Tyson did. Mike Tyson had 2 fights with Holyfield. He lost both of them. He had 1 fight with Lennox Lewis. He lost that. He didn't fight nobody else at the top of the heavyweight division.
You forgetting about Michael Spence.
You forgetting about Michael Spence, Frank Bruno, and Razor.
Michael Spence was at the end of his career.
No, he wasn't.
Mike Tyson was 19 years old. Michael Spence was at the end of his career. He was scared when he walked in the ring.
He was undefeated. He just defeated Larry Holmes and Jerry Cooney. He was undefeated, 30-0, 31-0.
What did Michael Spence do after he fought Mike Tyson?
Retired like Marvin Hagler.
Exactly. He retired. He was at the end of his career. He retired.
The same thing Ryan Garcia gonna do after he get his ass knocked out by Tank Davis. That's what Michael Spence gonna do.
I agree with this super chat right here, bro. I'm gonna read it. Shout out to the homie Devin Sonier. I gotta say his name right. Shout out to the homie Devin Sonier. He say, why didn't show? Is it popping up on the screen? Yeah, there you go. He say, we gotta stop nitpicking this, man. It's starting to get sickening. LOL. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, the man can't even talk shit. he can't even pop his shit, bro. Like, he can't pop his shit. He gotta just be quiet. But then when he be quiet, people don't like that shit either, bro. I think some people just don't like Tank, man. And if that's the case, say that shit, man.
That's true. Yeah. Just say it like you said.
And then I know where you're coming from, but don't act like you're giving analysis and you're being objective and oh man, you got to do this or you got to do this and do that. Just say you don't like them, bro.
The one thing you want from a fighter is for that fighter to go in the ring or take on every opponent with the most confidence. You don't want no fighter thinking somebody else is better than them. Because when I was growing up, my father always told me, you never give nobody the thing that never let nobody think that they can beat you until they beat you. So I go out here in these streets and I don't think nobody can whoop me until you whoop me. So I expect my fighter that I like or that I rock with to have the same confidence. They don't think nobody's better than them until they beat them.
I mean, the man saying he gonna do this to Ryan Garcia. He talking shit to this person, talking shit to that person. He doing what all these dudes do, bro. But we criticizing him for it. I don't get that, bro. Like I'll never understand.
So would you walk in a nursing home and brag about how you can beat up everybody in here?
That's not what he said. He said I'm more skilled. He said I'm more skilled than him, bro. No, I wouldn't.
Because he's talking about how he's better than a fighter who he'll never fight. And even if
he's saying he's more skilled than he ever was, bro. Yes, they do. People compare themselves to the legends all the time. Floyd Mayweather was calling himself the GOAT over everybody when he was still fighting, and he was talking about dudes that he would never fight too.
Early on,
Floyd was still paying homage as well. It wasn't this, and it could be just the social media generation, like we reading too much into it. But
Floyd started it, like you said. Floyd was the first one to disrespect his elders. He was the first one I ever heard disrespect his elders like that.
I believe the people that's criticizing the tweet is reading too much into it.
Facts, bro.
Right.
Let that man pop his shit, man. Let him pop his shit, bro. Just like we let everybody else pop their shit. Let that man pop his shit. And then just ask him to stand on. That's all.
They said Lomachenko was better than Ali and Ray Robinson.
Well, Loma is, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, right.
Dominic say y'all overreacting. I gotta look at it for myself. This is the type of shit make me hate I got off Twitter, bro. Cause I ain't see this shit.
I saw it come through, but I didn't think nothing of it. And Tank Davis, he talks shit to everybody. So I don't think nothing of it because that's what he's supposed to. He's a fighter. He's supposed to talk shit. He's supposed to talk shit.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what
with
he's supposed
that shit,
to.
bro.
I saw it when it came across my Twitter page. I saw it when it popped up, and I read exactly what it said. I'm more skilled than Tyson. That's what he said. I'm more
right.
skilled.
That was one, but that was one response. What about his other ones?
Woke, quit lying on me, Woke. I ain't never been mad at Devin for talking shit, bro. What are you talking about, bro? Don't do that. I ain't never been mad at that man for talking shit, bro. You bug. I love when he talks shit.
I'm about to say, KO always say, I love when these niggas talk shit. I just want to see them get in the ring and back it up.
Yeah, I love when he talk his shit. I love when everybody talk their shit, man. That shit make it more interesting for me. That's why I'm excited for the Benavidez and Plant fight, bro.
Oh, hell yeah. That's going to be a war.
Because when you talk shit and then you still win, that make it better. If you talk shit and you lose, that make it worse. I love that shit. Give yourself some pressure, bro.
It's going to be a slaughter. I don't know about a war.
He made Benavidez admit he wasn't a bum today, though. He made it say, yeah, what you going to fight a bum for?
Yeah. I saw that shit. I like how Plant got up there and started like acting like he was reading the shit. And then looked over at Benavidez. Plant a little sarcastic asshole, man.
Right.
And he gonna get put on it.
Caleb Plant a little sarcastic asshole, man. I'm telling y'all, bro.
I'm telling y'all gonna be in for a pleasant surprise.
Don't watch out. Look out for the hook. Look out for that left hook.
The only surprise is what round David is going to finish him. That's
what round surprise. You think?
Oh damn! Okay.
So since when did Caleb play I understand the journeyman fight against Darrell, but when did he become just this badass mother? Like when did this happen? Just because he beat up a journeyman Darrell?
No, journeyman. He a champion. That's who Benavidez won the title from. Darrell.
And what was he when Plant faced him?
The same. Hey, Darrell got to get his money too. He got to get both paydays.
I always talk shit.
Well, we're gonna have to hold on, bro. Well, we just gonna have to debate again. You typing at me too much, bro. You just email me whenever you want to set it up, bro. We just gonna have to debate again because you're typing too much, bro. You're typing way too much. We can just debate again, bro. Whenever you want. You typing too much. Get his lick back. Yeah, you typing too much, bro. We can just debate whenever you want, and you can get it all out. You still gonna lose, but you can get it all out, bro. Whenever you want it. Shout out Dre's Finest with the $5 in super chat. Says at KO, it's these girly boys with their toilet tissue feeling they need to keep their feelings in their pocket when it comes to combat sports. Straight gumps. All I'm saying, Dre, fine, like, yeah, bro, like talking shit, man. Like, we supposed to be big up in this shit. I love that, man. I love that, bro. I love that. You can, whoa, you can LOL all you want, but set it up, bro. You can laugh all you want, but just set it up, bro. Just let me know when you're ready, dog. Like, typing and all that, bro, and telling me I said this and I said that, then it should be easy for you to expose me in a debate, then, bro. It should be easy for you to expose me in a debate, then, so we can get it popping whenever you're ready, dog.
Tank got a fight coming up, so he in fight mode right now. So he going at everybody. He got a fight coming up. Weight.
He already down to 145 and shit. He already, you know what I'm saying? He mad right now.
I hear a lot of people talking about this rehydration clause. I'm gonna clear something up real quick.
Talk to
the rehydration clause that Tank Davis put in the contract. All he did was implement the IBF rehydration clause. Ryan Garcia is going to have a weigh-in. That the normal weigh-in, he got to weigh in at 136, and then they're going to have a weigh-in, I think, the following morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. He got to weigh 146. After that, he can come in at any weight he wants to. So all of those people thinking that, oh, he's draining them, he gotta fight at 146. No, he don't. He don't have to fight at 146.
So it's confirmed, and I had to say that. So it's confirmed that the second day weigh-in is in the morning.
Yeah, it's at 9 o'clock in the morning. And this came from Tank Davis camp. This came from Tank Davis camp because everybody's talking about the rehydration clause. All he did was implement the IBF rules in the contract.
So quick question.
They got to weigh in at 136, and then the next morning at 9 o'clock, they got to weigh in at 146, and then
so he got time to eat breakfast, eat lunch, and hydrate all day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So quick question. When has Tank implemented the IBF rules in a fight before?
It doesn't. It happens a lot. You know why you don't know about it?
When has Tank?
You know why you don't know about it? You know why you don't know about it? Because nobody talks about it. It happens a lot.
When has Tank implemented the IBF rehydration rules before? And he fought at 140.
You don't know because nobody talks about it. He could have did it before. You don't know.
No, they talked about it with the Barrios fight. He didn't do that.
But you gotta blame Ryan Garcia team for that. They signed that. That's on him, man. You can't put that on Tank.
Ryan would have been.
You gotta put that on Ryan
if he didn't sign it.
That ain't no duck. No, you just tell. That's not a duck. You agreed to that shit because he must think it's an advantage.
So wait,
let me ask y'all this. We getting close to the debate. Let me ask y'all this. So, and shout out to A1 Hoops on in the super chat with the $5. It says salute KO supporting the grind. Social media era weird. This era of boxing is weird too. Motherfuckers make something out of nothing on everything. Shaking my damn head. Shout out A1 Hoops on, man. Y'all go sub up to the brother. So let me ask y'all something, right? If y'all know, we about to start the debate, Smoke. You know I dropped the link, but we about to start the debate in 4 minutes, bro. But you know what, Smoke here, bro. You can come up and pop your shit real quick. All my people that's debating, man, y'all go ahead and hop up. I got one of the judges up here. I need my judges. I need my debaters. I need everybody to get up here so we can get ready to get this thing started. But Smoke, you can hit the link and talk your shit real quick, bro. Let me ask y'all this though. Does that change anything for y'all? Are y'all still saying that Tank Davis is weight draining Ryan Garcia? If you know that he's weighing in at 146 at 9 a.m., then he has all day, eat breakfast, eat lunch, drink water all day, do whatever he wants to get to whatever weight he wants.
That's a guaranteed loss, knockout.
Are y'all saying he weight draining?
No, I'm just saying that's a guarantee. I never seen a fighter win with the weight rehydration clause. So I'm saying put the money on Tank. Ain't no way, because the only advantage he could have if he could put on all that extra weight and be big. Now you can guarantee he gonna lose. So, but put it on his team. His team signed that shit. Don't put it on Tank.
Tank is looking for a competitive advantage against Ryan Garcia. Even
That's good.
If he gets to refill, he still has to eat, hydrate on top of all that stuff that he has to do on the day of the fight. He's looking for a competitive advantage. Like if you don't want to say that he's weight training, fine. He's looking for an advantage.
That's a good advantage. That's a good thing. Blame Ryan Garcia team.
He also gave up that advantage the first time.
Hold up. Mastermind, you said it's a good thing to look for a competitive advantage?
Yeah, I think, when you look at the history of boxing, every fighter that has done that has lost when they did the 10-pound rehydration. So I think it's
not every fighter.
Name one that won.
Errol Spence.
When did he have a 10-pound? No, that's it.
I gotta say this. I gotta say this to y'all, bro. I gotta say this to y'all.
If a rehydration clause in the IBF championship fight, you have a rehydration clause. Errol Spence won his fight.
No, I'm saying that it wasn't a part of the IBF. I'm saying when you just put it in the clause as an advantage, you're gonna beat him. He's gonna win. But yeah, the IBF is different. Now it's part of the rules. It's not part of the rules. You put it in the contract.
Let me tell you this, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, bro. And see, this is when the Devin Haney fans and shit, they'll try to agree with me. See, I'm cool long as I'll keep it real on Tank. I'm cool, but if I keep it real on Devin Haney, they don't want to hear that shit. But anyway, bro, looking for a competitive advantage in a fight, being able to negotiate it, bro, that has no place in boxing. That shit need to get all the way the hell out of boxing, bro. Like I can't like that's not a good thing to look for shit like that in the sport.
Yeah, but I'm not mad at that.
So here's the other part of it. Is the IBF. If it was the IBF rules, then Ryan would be able to weigh in at 150 pounds. It's not the IBF rules they're going by. The first off, it's not even a championship fight, so it's all moot. This is just a negotiated advantage.
Like you sound like you talking fast as shit.
Oh yeah, sorry. Hold up, I'm in the thing.
But it don't really matter. It really don't matter.
Yeah. So right, no, for all these people trying to normalize what this dude is doing, this is not normal. It's not normal at all.
That shit is normal. Oscar De La Hoya,
no, it is not.
Oscar De La Hoya
no, it's
does
not.
this
Well,
all
you
the
ain't
time.
shit. Well,
first off,
Oscar De La
this is not a
you ain't
champion.
shit,
This
bro.
is not a championship.
Listen,
Hold up a second. I wasn't done. I wasn't done speaking, bro.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
It's all good, bro. This is not a championship fight. This is not the IBF. Nothing about this is normal. Even if it was a championship fight, even if it was for the IBF, his weigh-in weight would be 150 pounds, not 146.
Right.
Go ahead.
No,
what I'm saying,
is only 10 pounds above. The fight weight is 136. So the fight weight is 136. So the limit would be 146, not 150.
The limit would be the IBF. The IBF limit is 140. The IBF
the limit for the IBF is 10 pounds above.
Yes, 10 pounds over the 10 pounds of the weight limit, not a negotiated catch weight.
Right, but all I'm saying is that y'all can't be mad.
Go ahead, Kwame. Let Kwame get in.
Let
Go
me
ahead,
say
Kwame.
this. Y'all cannot be mad about this because this is a PBC Golden Boy fight, and we know that Oscar De La Hoya does the same stuff. He did the same thing to Danny Jacobs. This is what he does. So in these type of negotiations, this is what they do in these big fights. Canelo fought in his own weight class with no belts at 155. So when it comes to negotiating with Golden Boy, it's either they're gonna do it or you're gonna do it. It's just the only issue is that this time Golden Boy is not the A side, and they just getting a taste of their own medicine, and that's just what it is.
And like I said, if it was for the Danny Jacobs, it would have been at 135, and he would have came in at 145.
You do know it's Canelo who had a fight at the catchweight, right? Against Floyd.
Yep. Because he the one saying he can come down to 150 and beat Floyd. So he put his foot in his mouth. He can't, and they did it at 152.
Shout out my brother Paul Carrick
Okay.
in that cash out. Hold on, y'all. Shout out Paul Carrick in that cash out. Shout out my brother Omega Red with the $5 in the super chat. He said, I noticed these Dev fans been whining and complaining about Tank ever since the fight was announced. Green Eye Monster on their shoulders. Damn.
I mean, what does that have to do with Dev or Dev fans? This doesn't have anything to do with Dev or Dev fans. You guys are just reaching. This is all about Tank.
I just got a question. I just got a question, and this is how we can decide if this is right or fair or not. If Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy were the A side, would they have done the same thing?
Why?
I
don't understand how that would be.
If Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya were the A side in this same fight, would they have went to have the same kind of advantage? Yes,
no, because they would
have
fought
because they would have been. They're the bigger guy.
They're
the big guy. They're the bigger guy.
Yeah, what I'm saying is
why would they have a catch weight?
What I'm saying is they have a history of making advantages for themselves. This is how they negotiate.
That's what winners do.
That's fine. So does Floyd Mayweather. So does Floyd Mayweather.
So then why is Tank getting so much grief about it then if this is normal?
Because he's a prohibitive favorite and fucking nobody thinks Ryan can really fight.
Again,
so it's weird.
Is a money grab.
And then he wants to talk about how he's more skilled than fucking.
Fight.
And then in this fight where he has an unfair competitive advantage, he's trying to say he's better than Mike Tyson, but he's more skilled than Mike Tyson. Meanwhile, while he's saying he's better than Mike Tyson, he's looking for every goddamn advantage against a guy that nobody thinks can really fight.
Check it out though, Smoke. It was being slick though when they slid. See, they knew the Tank and Garcia fight was coming, so they slid Ryan up to 140. They was being slick.
Hey, if anybody know KD, tell KD we waiting on him.
I mean, that's one way to listen. That might be the case. That might be slick.
Hey,
but,
somebody
shit
fucked up, man. Who is that? Who is that sound like they burping on the dang on mic, bro?
I think that's good to Smoke.
Okay. Yeah, Smoke, your mic is messed up.
Yeah, I got
up,
these
bro.
new headphones. Let me get my Bluetooth.
Did it again.
But I'm gonna say you like this.
Ryan
Garcia has already won. Ryan Garcia has already won because that was the whole reason why he came out in the press conference and said that they put a rehydration clause in it. So all of these people could sit here and argue about the rehydration clause instead of arguing about what skills Ryan Garcia had versus the skills that Tank Davis had. And now he has a built-in excuse why he's going to lose when we already knew he was going to lose anyway.
Right. But Tank put that excuse in.
Yeah, man.
He signed it. What about him signing that excuse?
Look, Oscar De La Hoya is that. Listen, Oscar De La Hoya is his fault, bro. He bad talk Al Heyman in the public. He ran and tried to sue him with Bob Arum. Now, when you got to sit down at the table with these guys, they gonna give you an L. I mean, that's just how it works, and especially when this is your. See, I'm not mad at any of this because these are the same exact tactics that Oscar De La Hoya uses. He's the king of it. This nigga chose Floyd's gloves, the weight class, the ring, everything. This is what Oscar do.
Hold on. Real quick, shout out to Paul Carey Sr. in the super chat, man. Loving the debate series and what he say. And then we just got another super chat from Big Ray, man. I mean, another cash app from Big Ray. I appreciate all the love in the cash app. KD, hit that link, man. We ready to get started, bro. Let me drop it again. And cue the guy, man. If you hear, okay, there go KD. Mastermind, True Speaks. I gotta have y'all hop off, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, bro.
All right, bro. Y'all take it easy.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Remember KD? I think he just dropped off.
He getting it together. There you go, right there.
Yeah,
all right, Smoke. I'm supposed to have Q the guy judging, but if he don't pull up, bro, you got time to judge, or you busy tonight?
Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna get Smoke to judge.
Yeah, I was Tank. Knockout. I was never.
Hey, bro, don't call me Tank, bro. You gonna start a joke? You gonna make me a joke on YouTube and shit?
That's funny right there.
You gonna start a joke and shit, man? Come on, man. What's up, though?
What I'm saying is I was never mad when I heard the negotiations because this is common behavior for Golden Boy. If it was someone, if this was like Spence versus Crawford, yeah, but it's like this is what Golden Boy does when they're the A side. This is the same exact stuff they do. It's to the T.
So you like? Here's the issue, though. When Golden Boy does it. Hold on,
Smoke. Okay. So your thing is, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Shit, y'all gonna do it, right? So I'm gonna do it. I ain't mad at you because that's the energy that you got. But you know me, bro. You know how I've been. I don't like the shit for nobody, bro.
Right? No, so I feel you.
I'm keeping the shit how I always keep it, bro. And I feel like you take some away, bro. Like I feel like Tank could just beat his ass, all that extra shit out the window. Fuck the rematch. Fuck the hydration. Just go in there and do what you do, bro.
Exactly. Especially. I mean, if you're gonna say it's the same thing, then I think Tank should be fighting a way harder competition than fucking Ryan Garcia. Because when Canelo was doing it, he was fighting the likes of Kovalev and Danny Jacobs and insert a guy in there. He wasn't just doing that for any Joe Blow off the block that we think is gonna get knocked out.
Like, we may need a debate on this shit. That nigga Canelo was ducking niggas. What you talking about? He was doing that shit when he was fighting at his own weight class of 155.
Okay, I hear you. You can say he's been ducking guys, but all those dudes are better than Ryan. The guy Canelo ducked and the guy.
I'll set it up if y'all want to debate it, but Smoke, you came through.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can enjoy the debate from the chat, bro. I appreciate you.
I'm done. I'm good. Let's do this debate.
Hey, Smoke ready to go. Smoke will be live tomorrow morning. Y'all go check him out, bro.
Or Smoke wants some smoke.
Smoke, I always want smoke, bro. Shout out to Woke with the $2 in the super chat. Says Cook KO, you on point. 2 just for being the best you. Appreciate that, bro. KD, bro, sum up with your camera. KD, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sum up with you got your camera on. I think it's facing the wrong way or something.
Damn.
Or is it off? Because we don't see nothing but a black screen, bro. Or you just got that because Kwame getting ready for his funeral or something. What you doing?
Nah. I'm having some technical difficulties over here. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, man.
All
right. Well, now
you can hear me though, right?
We see something. Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you loud. I hear you loud and clear, bro. Audio crispy. Now your camera went off and we just see your avatar. You can do that too if you want to, bro. It's up to you.
I prefer to be on camera, but seeing as how we having some issues, we just gonna do it like this right here. That's all.
Already. All right, let me share this screen, man. We're gonna get straight to it. Let me go to my judges. D Free, man. You got that ugly ass shirt on and shit, man. What you looking for, man? I ought to kick his ass out, but I need a judge, so I can't do nothing with D Free today. He gonna wear that shit, man. He's fucking up my screen, man. Messing up my screen. Matter of fact, you let the people know what you're looking for. And then Q, you let the people know what you're looking for. And while y'all doing that, I'll be right back. Goddamn it, you ain't finna do me.
Hey man, I want these guys to come out here and stay on topic and and speak your facts and give us a good debate. Um, and like I said, just stay on topic because it if you're not on topic, I can't judge in your favor, even though you might speak some good points. But if you keep going off topic and I gotta try to get myself back into what we're talking about, what was the question, then I can't vote in your favor. So just try to stay on topic and just have a good debate.
We're closing in. Right. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty much looking for the same thing, bro. Looking for shit. I want to hear the rounds real good, smooth, not repetitive. Facts, all that good stuff, man. So that's what I'm looking for, man. And hopefully the best man win.
Yeah, man. Same with me, man. I'm looking for facts. And I need y'all to kick that shit, man, and tell me a story that I can get with. I had to go change clothes, man. I can't just have no Washington shit up here, man. We had to get right, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
everybody know what it really is around this month.
Hey, KO, I'm gonna say this.
What up, bro?
You already know my squad, and we sitting on the ring right now. So, the Chiefs go Chiefs. We in this thing. We do it like that. And that's what it is. Go Chiefs, man.
Hey, you're a Chiefs fan. I appreciate your offensive coordinator.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I can have that.
He wasn't doing shit over there anyway. Andy Reid was doing all the work, man.
I hope y'all take Juju too. Oh, never mind. The Patriots got him, but you know what I mean.
Come over here with all that Queen. Come over here with all that Washington shit on. Oh man. Come on, Miss KO, she was back there laughing when I was. She like, "What you doing? Ain't you live right now?" Yeah, I'm live. But I had to go get my shit. All right, man. Let's go. Yeah. Hey, who want to call in there? Kwame or KD? Who calling in there, man?
Oh man, I'll call tails.
All right, bet. Let me flip this thing. All right, it landed on heads. KD, who going first, man?
You can go first.
All right, let me stop the screen share. One time. Get out that other browser. All right, let me get this question up here. I'm gonna read it, y'all, man. 10-minute rounds, 5-minute rebuttals. Y'all know the rules. Y'all veterans in the game. First question, man. Errol Spence, Bud Crawford debate. First question: if Bud fights Alexis Rocha and Errol Spence fights Keith Thurman, I got an echo coming from one of y'all, bro. I forgot who it is. Somebody maybe mute yourself. But if Bud fights Alexis Rocha and Errol Spence fights Keith Thurman, which fight is the better fight? You got 10 minutes, Kwame. You gotta tell us why the Keith Thurman and Errol Spence fight is the better fight.
All right, man. I mean, is this even like a real question? To be honest, I mean, Alexis Rocha. I mean, who has he beaten that we know? Blair Cobb. I mean that's about it. Nobody really knows much about Alexis Rocha. This is a guy who lost to Speedy Rashidi Ellis in a unanimous decision. Speedy Rashidi Ellis, fought the Mexican dude in his last fight and lost, and that was to show that he was ready to step up to fight the big dogs. They were trying to set him up to fight a Boots, to fight these guys that we deem are elite fighters. And this guy, Alexis Rocha, was washed by, it was a unanimous decision. That means all the judges said you lose. Perfect, like Street Fighter. Okay? So my thing is, when we're looking at Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, I mean, Keith Thurman has one loss, but it's to an all-time great in Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. All right, Keith Thurman has done something that Alexis Rocha has never done, which is become a world champion 2 times. Okay, WBA, WBC. the only loss that Keith Thurman had to vacate his WBC belt. You know, and that's the only reason why they're even trying to shove him in there to fight Errol Spence, because the WBC can go ahead and slide him in the rankings that high. Now we all know that when it comes to somebody like Terence Crawford and the WBO, we know that's called the what Bob orders. You know, before he was supposed to fight Sean Porter, and they put Sean Porter number one, and then when they only wanted to give Porter $1 million, then they slid Ortiz into number one. Then they slid him back out and put Porter back at number one. Now what they've done is they slid Rocha into number one. How in the world can we give a fight that Terence Crawford is doing through the WBO when they play musical chairs with the people in their standings? Anyone could go from number 6 to number 1. So how can we say that a fight like this is going to be better than a fight with Keith Thurman? I mean, at least we know with Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, Keith Thurman can actually fight. Keith Thurman has, like I said, beat everyone except Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman is a completely different pedigree than an Alexis Rocha. So if we're talking about what's the better fight, I think it's evident to see that Errol Spence and Keith Thurman is a better fight. And you know what? Most likely my opponent is going to, do what most Bud fans do, and he's going to talk about, oh, well, they're going to be fighting at 154. Well, last time I checked, everyone was calling Errol Spence a weight bully from the time before he even got a world title. Last time I checked, Keith Thurman went on massive layoffs for months, years, 22 months, and he was fat and overweight. So normally, if you don't have to lose an additional 7 pounds, right, from a long layoff, that means your punch resistance is up. You'll be stronger. You'll most likely be have better stamina and more athletic. So just from that standpoint alone, with the pedigree of a Keith Thurman and an Errol Spence, two guys who were world champions, two guys who have fought the top guys in the 147-pound weight class, how could we not say that's not a better fight? I mean, when I looked at I think when I was doing my research and I looked at the fights that Alexis Rocha had before he lost to Speedy Rashidi Ellis, the one fighter he fought his name was Brad Solomon, and he was 28-2. And then after he got washed, he fought somebody named James Bacon, who was 26-4. There's nobody besides Blair Cobb. We don't know anybody besides Blair Cobb that Alexis Rocha gets any type of credit for. And the only reason he got credit for fighting the Blair Cobb is because Blair Cobb went in the media and made a lot of noise talking about Errol Spence and trying to link himself to Errol Spence. And it was funny to see him get his ass whooped. But there was nobody that said, hey, this guy, Blair Cobb, is ready to fight the top welterweights in the division. Anytime Keith Thurman fights, because he's already been a world champion, they expect him to fight the top guys in the division. He is held to that standard. That's why he got crushed for fighting Barrios after the long layoff. So he's held to that standard. Alexis Rocha, nobody care who he fight. Alexis Rocha is a showcase fight. That's what he is. He's a showcase fight for Terence Crawford. But we know Terence Crawford, he likes tomatoes, he likes avocados. He likes to fight anything that barely has a pulse and things that aren't a threat. So when we take a look at this situation, if you watch boxing, Ray Charles can see that the better fight is Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. Time up for me.
All right. Strong opening round from Kwame from Loyal to the Game Boxing Talk. Y'all put some hand clap emojis in the chat for him. We going on to my brother KD. KD, I'll reread the question for you, great brother. If Bud fights Alexis Rocha and Spence fights Keith Thurman, which fight is the better fight? You got 10 minutes for your opening statement. Explain to us why Alexis Rocha is the better fight. Go ahead and talk to me, bro.
Yes, sir. Can y'all hear me good?
Yes, sir.
All right, we here. Okay, all right. So you know what, man? I would have to agree with Kwame 100%. If it wasn't, if we could go back to 2017 and get that Keith Thurman, I would 100% agree with Kwame. In 2017, Keith Thurman was a unified champion, coming off of 2 of his biggest wins. You know, he was free from all those injuries that kept him out of the ring all those years. You know, he fought at least once a year back in 2017. You know, so if we were in 2017, I would say we wouldn't even be able to have this debate at all. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, Keith Thurman would be a much better fight than Alexis Rocha. But the fact of the matter is, we in 2023, 6 years, approximately 6 years away from 2017, right? So are we getting the 2017 Keith Thurman? Absolutely not, right? What we getting is a 2023 version of Keith Thurman, who is nowhere near the level he was at 6 years ago. Those are the facts, right? So the fact of the matter is, Keith Thurman's inactivity and injuries, coupled with his overall limitations as a fighter, has relegated him to the status of subpar at this particular point in time, right? He's a fighter that's not even worth being in a championship level fight, right? Unlike Alexis Rocha, Loyal to the Game Boxing was talking a lot about Alexis Rocha and, you know, how he hasn't fought nobody, but Alexis Rocha at very least has fought himself in the position to become a mandatory, which is a lot more than we could say about Keith Thurman, a guy who was literally gifted a mandatory spot because he fought a 140-pounder in Mario Barrios in order to become a mandatory for a welterweight belt. So somebody got to make that make sense, right? And then more slander on Alexis Rocha's name, right? And the discrediting of him fighting Blair Cobbs. But the reality of the situation is this: Blair Cobbs was highly favored to beat Alexis Rocha. So we're talking about a guy who was an underdog who came back to beat the guy who was favored to beat him, right? This is the type of fighter that we're dealing with when we're comparing Alexis Rocha versus Keith Thurman, a guy who's only fought really 3 times in the last 6 years, right? But let's keep it going though. So I know it's going to be a lot of pushback as far as, you know, fans being obsessed with the name Keith Thurman, right? Because that's all he really is at this particular point in time, a name, Keith Thurman. But the evidence proves that Alexis Rocha is a much more competitive fight. One of the facts being that Alexis Rocha has 5 straight victories within the 3 years that Keith Thurman hasn't fought 1 time, right? So, you know, so unfortunately, a lot of dudes want to get away from the fact that inactivity is what disintegrates fighters. Inactivity is what relegates fighters to mediocrity, and that's what we're dealing with when we're talking about Keith Thurman, a guy who's only fought 3 times in 6 years. And then when we talk about the 3 fights that he had in the last 6 years, Kwame mentioned Manny Pacquiao, right? How he was one of the top fighters in the world. But the reality of the situation is this is a 40-year-old guy who came off of a 2-year layoff to beat Keith Thurman in the first place. So is this the guy right now that's supposed to be the credible opponent for Errol Spence Jr., the guy who lost to a 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao, coming off of a 2-year layoff, right? And then we're going to keep it going when we say this, right? Inactivity plays an even stronger role than what we realize, because lack of fights, and we all know this as boxing fans, is poisonous to fighters and greatly reduces their attributes all across the board, right? Why do you think fighters in the first place take stay busy fights or tune-up fights? It's in order to keep their attributes sharp, because they atrophy over time. meaning they go down. Their talent and their skills go down over time. If you don't believe me, we could look at, and I mentioned Manny Pacquiao a little bit earlier, but Manny Pacquiao was picked to beat Yordenis Ugas years ago. Everybody picked Manny Pacquiao to beat Yordenis Ugas, but Manny Pacquiao got completely and utterly destroyed by a guy that he was favored to win coming off of yet another 2-year layoff, right? What else? Mikey Garcia, another guy, coming off of a 2-year layoff, getting in the ring with a Sandor Martin off of another 2-year layoff. A guy who was heavily favored to beat Sandor Martin in that particular fight ended up getting bested by him, a guy who should have been inferior to him, only to come off of a layoff, right? How many successful fighters do you know fight once every 2 years, which is what Keith Thurman is? His average with 3 fights in 6 years averages out to be 1 fight every 2 years. How many successful fighters or competitive fights do you know happen after a guy who's come off of a 2-year layoff come out to be successful in a fight? Not many, right? Keith Thurman is not a Floyd Mayweather. He's not a guy who can come off of a 2-year layoff and be successful, because he's already been beaten by a guy in Manny Pacquiao coming off of a 2-year layoff. So we know that he's a very beatable fighter at the end of the day, right? So the fact of the matter is this: Keith Thurman's inactivity, along with his him being just beatable in general, just makes him inferior to a guy who's been active, to a guy who's been who's coming off of his biggest win, like an Alexis Rocha, you know? So the fact of the matter is this: Keith Thurman simply just not equipped to be in the biggest fight of his career versus Errol Spence Jr. He's simply not. And because of that, because of the inactivity, because of the ring rust, Alexis Rocha is just a more competitive fight. That's my time.
All right, Kwame, it's on you, bro. Let me stop this because y'all cooking. All right, you got 5 minutes to offer up your rebuttal, bro. Timer starts when you start talking, man.
Man, this you might as well just chalk this round up to me, man. So there's a couple holes because we got to stick to the facts, and this is the debate, right? So it's interesting you talk about fighter atrophy, and someone being laid off makes them worse, and this and that. So what that would mean is that all the discredit that you're giving Keith Thurman, you'd have to give the same discredit to Errol Spence, because how many times has he fought in the last 4 years? Twice, right? Both of these guys have been inactive fighters. Okay. Now, when you take a look at Terence Crawford, he's doing what he normally do. He just fought an avocado, right? And he got him a warm-up fight, and now he's going to fight another guy on that level or possibly worse. Okay? So when we're talking about fighter atrophy, looks like my side is winning over there. Number 2, you stated that when Alexis Rocha and Blair Cobb fought, that Blair Cobb, you said that Blair Cobb was the person who was supposed to win the fight, and Alexis Rocha was the underdog. But it's very clear to see that if you take a look and stick to the facts, Alexis Rocha was actually minus 260. Blair Cobb in that fight was plus 200. So Alexis Rocha was a clear favorite in that fight. So if you're gonna bring up facts, you gotta bring them up correctly. All right. We've all seen Blair Cobb look like Rocky Balboa in fights before he even fought Blair Cobb. We've seen a whole lot of times where we've seen massive holes in Blair Cobb's game. And that's what they picked the odds off of. So Alexis Rocha did what he was supposed to do against Blair Cobb. And as much as you want to talk about Alexis Rocha and what he's done and who he's beaten the last 3 years or the last 5 years, and the last 3 years you said he had 5 straight wins, you can't even name the people that he fought for those 5 straight wins. Straight up tomato cans. And I guarantee you, if we put a poll in the chat right now, and we said Alexis Rocha versus Keith Thurman, everybody would choose Keith Thurman to beat Alexis Rocha, even with all the layoffs. So just based off of that, man, I'm telling you, this right here, it's not even close. When we're talking about who's going to be a better fighter, one guy was just sprung into a mandatory that technically didn't earn it. I mean, these guys, you're talking about Alexis Rocha earned that mandatory spot. Boots Ennis got put out of the WBO. He was number 2 after Ortiz. So I'm trying to figure out, how did he actually earn that mandatory? Where Keith Thurman, he's a veteran. He's already been a champion, and nobody beat Keith Thurman for the WBC title. He vacated it. He had to vacate it during his hiatus for 22 months, where he decided to go have kids and get married. So tell me how you can't find justification for a world champion who was never beaten and that belt never taken from him to have a top spot or mandatory in that same exact weight class, opposed to a guy that I don't even know if anyone remembered where Alexis Rocha was in the WBO before Terence Crawford went and visited Golden Boy Promotions. So another tomato can, another tune-up fight for Terence Crawford. And this is how it goes, bro. If the guy is plus 800, Terence Crawford's gonna be there to fight him. All right. So there's no debate with this. Keith Thurman is a world champion. He's an ex-world champion. No one ever took the WBC from him. The WBC put him back in his rightful place to get back the belt that he never lost, that he vacated. And he vacated that belt to 2 guys to fight for it that he already beat already. All right? So this is a clear-cut case. And as I said, you got to stick to the facts.
That's time, Kwame. All right, it's on you. It's on you, KD, man. You got your rebuttal, man. You got 5 minutes. Go ahead and start talking. Timer starts when you start talking, bro.
All right, here you go, man. Listen, at the end of the day, it's like this, man. Keith Thurman, once again, he ain't the Keith Thurman from 2017. You can sit here and talk about how this person would be favored, how Keith Thurman's this big name, how he was unified. You can give all these accomplishments from 6 years ago. But that's exactly what they are, accomplishments from 6 years ago. The man hasn't done nothing in 2023, and in his last fight was against Mario Barrios, which was at this particular point a year and a half ago. So he's been laid off even another year and a half, even as we speak at this particular point in time, right? But this is a dude that's supposed to get in there with Errol Spence Jr. and put up some sort of fight, right? The dude who fought 3 times once again in the last 6 years, right? Kwame brings up, he mentioned something about betting odds for the Cobb fight. But if you go on YouTube, I guarantee you'll find that most people were picking Blair Cobbs to beat Alexis Rocha. You could talk about betting odds all you want, but the general consensus among boxing fans, because, and this proves my point again, everybody was familiar with the name Blair Cobbs, but nobody was familiar with the name Alexis Rocha. But the general consensus among all boxing fans is that Blair Cobbs was the favorite to beat Alexis Rocha, right? And then he mentioned how, I talked about this earlier, how Alexis Rocha fought his way up to the top of the WBO, and that's because Jerome Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz ducked the Crawford fight. So you talk about how nobody knew where his place in the WBO. Well, he's the only person that had the courage to be able to even petition the WBO or accept the challenge to fight Bud Crawford to begin with, right? And then he said that, oh, Rocha's last 5 fights were against tomato cans. Well, Rocha's last fights were against tomato cans versus Keith Thurman, who hasn't fought anyone. It's better to fight tomato cans than nobody. I guarantee you that. Which would you prefer? 5 tomato cans, or absolutely nobody? Which would you say has a bigger toll on your career? But I know Kwame don't want to talk about that. I know he don't want to talk about that, because at the end of the day, I'd rather an active fighter is always going to be much more dangerous than a guy who hasn't fought in 6 years, right? Than a guy who's been laid off, than a guy who's not active. And that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at a guy who's active, a guy coming off his biggest win, a guy coming off 5 straight victories over the last 3 years, versus another guy who hasn't fought in a year and a half. And then prior to that, hasn't fought in 3 years, right? And then in the last 3 fights that he's had, he's 2-1, right? So the dude lost 1 of the 3 fights that he's had in the last 3 years. Not to mention all the injuries and all the mental things going on with Keith Thurman. Come on, man. This is supposed to be the guy challenging the unified champion. This is supposed to be some sort of challenger that we're supposed to get behind and believe that he has any real shot of beating Errol Spence Jr. Absolutely not. Versus Alexis Rocha, a guy who just fought and upset the favorite in Blair Cobbs in order to get a victory. So who's to say he can't come in with a fight with Bud Crawford and somehow pull off an upset? I would favor an upset with Rocha versus an upset with a Keith Thurman, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right there.
Already, man. Shout out for a fire first round from both combatants. Y'all put some party hat emojis, some hand clap emojis, all that shit in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Because they are doing a great job. Let's get ready to go over to the judges. I'm gonna put the poll up while we go to them. Let me take this question down. I'm gonna go to my brother Q the Guy from the Lost Art of Boxing, the lab first. Y'all go subscribe to Q the Guy, doing great work over there. Catch Wait Tay, I see you in the building. Q, who you got in this first round and why, man?
Man, first round, bro. It was, to me, it was close, man. That was a close round. I like how Kwame started it off. You know what I mean? Bigging up Thurman, you know what I mean? Only losing to Pacquiao, an all-time great in the sport. Rocha losing to Rashidi, you know what I mean? And nobody pretty much knowing who fought Rocha. I think he had a good round. He had a great rebuttal. He called up KD in one of his points that he assumed was a fact, but turned out not to be, as far as the Blair Cobb or Rocha being the underdog in a Blair Cobb fight. I mean, Blair Cobb being the underdog. I think KD did good, man. I like this first round, man. I think he had a lot of good points as far as the inactivity, you know, and what that mean to a fighter as far as going in. What kind of fighter do you want to see? The rebuttal I felt was cool. Man, it was a close round. I might, man, that was close, man. Right now, I'm looking down at my notes. I'm feeling like KD won it because I'm looking at the points. Yeah, I'm gonna get that round to KD. I feel like the inactivity. Is what brought it home to me. Me personally, I have in my mind who I think is a better fight, but I feel like KD made great points to actually win that round, so I gave it to him.
All right. My brother D Free, talk to me, bro. Who you giving round 1 to, man?
Oh man, this was a decent round. Like my brother said, it was a close round. Kwame came out swinging. He was talking about how Rocha hasn't fought in the body. He lost to Speedy Rashid Ellis. And then he started talking about Keith Thurman, how the only person that Keith Thurman lost to was Manny Pacquiao, who's a legend in the sport of boxing. And then he talked about how Keith Thurman is a 2-time champion and Alexa Rocha has never fought for a title. And then KD came back and he talked about how Keith Thurman was inactive. He only fought 3 times.
Hold up real quick, D Free. Hold up. Hey, very viral videos. We can debate whatever you want to debate. We got Benavidez Plant debates up on the channel. We got Jermell Charlo and Alexander Usyk next week. But how about this? You let me know what you want to debate. You hit my email. You can pick the questions. You can bring some judges, and we can get it popping. You say some shit like that again, then I'm gonna get you up out of here, bro. Don't come over here throwing shade. If you want to step in the ring, you can step in the ring with me, and you can pick whatever you want to pick, and we can get it popping. Go ahead, D Free. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
No, you good. But yeah, he was talking about how Keith Thurman was inactivity. His inactivity was he only fought 3 times in the last 6 years, and the last fight he had was against Mario Bio, who was coming up from 140. And he brought up some good points how the inactivity is a problem for a fighter. You want your fighter to be active when he's going into these fights, especially when it's for a world title. But then we went to the rebuttal round, and Kwame checked him on one of his statements where he said that Blair Cobb was the favorite, and he actually brought up the fact that Rosa was the favorite in that fight. And he talked about how he rebutted the fact that he was talking about how Keith Thurman was inactive for the last. He's coming off a 2-year layoff, but then he brought up the fact that he's fighting EJ, who's only fought twice in the last 4 years, and so it's still going to be a competitive fight. Which that was a good point that stood out to me. And then he talked about how if we was to put a poll in the and they were to make the fight between Keith Thurman and Rosa, most people would pick Keith Thurman, and that stood out to me. And then KD he came back with his rebuttal round, and he tried to clear up the fact about the favorite, and he said the YouTube people was picking Blair Cobb over Rosa, and then he went to the fact of the inactivity again. So I had to give this round to Kwame for this one. He had more stronger points in this round.
Yeah, all right. Nah, bro, you got free speech. You just ain't got free speech to come over here and lie. We do not do Spence Crawford debates every week on this channel. The debaters get to choose the debate topic. You guess you missed the Haney and Tank debates. You missed the Shakur and Haney debates. You missed the Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis debates. You missed all of them. But you over here for this one talking shit and lying on my shit. Don't come to my shit lying, bro. You can get up here and you can debate. Anyone is welcome, bro. So if you got something you want to talk about, we can talk about it. And if it worked for you to hop on here and you got time to type, you got time to hit that link. So hit it whenever the hell you want to, bro. Or quit coming over here hating on my shit. Straight up. For me, bro, look, it just came down to it was an inactivity argument versus a better fighter argument in terms of Keith Thurman done accomplished more. He's been in there with better fighters. He's fought champions and only lost to Manny Pacquiao versus Alexis Rocha, who been active. Keith Thurman been hurt. He ain't been active. So do you think the former champion is a better fight? Can he put up a better fight than the dude that's been active but maybe hasn't showed to be as skilled as Keith Thurman? That was the basis of both of their arguments. I thought they made great points. I thought it was a very close round. The part that swayed me was the part that Q talked about the most. You know what I mean? And that's when somebody gets directly rebutted and something that they spoke on as a fact wasn't really the fact. And that being, Alexis Rocha versus Blair Cobb was the favorite. That turned out not to be true, and Kwame was able to point that out. So for that reason and that reason alone, in a very close round, I gave it to Kwame as well. But I thought they both made brilliant arguments. I would have argued the way that both of them did because I thought KD came very, very strong with that inactivity point. And had he left that last part out that Kwame was able to rebuttal, he might have got that round, bro. But I think it's a very close debate, and I think these next questions gonna be tough. And we got KD going first this time. So round 2. Let me see here, bro. Here we go, right here. Where'd he go? All right, there you go. All right, so very simple question. You got Crawford fans that think Errol is taking so long to announce his fight because he waiting on Bud to announce his fight first on some PR shit to make it look like Bud is ducking him. You got Errol Spence fans that are saying that Errol Spence is taking so long to announce his Keith Thurman fight because he's actually trying to make the fight with Bud Crawford. So I got a question. You know what I mean? What's taking Errol so damn long to announce his fight with Keith Thurman? We're going to KD first this time. KD, give us your answer and let us know why you got the answer that you chose, man. Go ahead. It's on you, bro.
I bet. Okay, so first of all, nobody can say for sure, whether or not what's taking so long or whether or not Earl's waiting on Bud to announce the Rocha fight. You know what I'm saying? What the situation is, but I could tell you this. Errol Spence on 11-2, right after Bud Crawford announced his fight with David Avanesian, told the world that he was going to spin the block, right? And as soon as Bud Crawford cleaned up Avanesian, Errol Spence started singing another tune. As a matter of fact, I recall the tune being something along the lines of, y'all remember he was hurt by the way Bud did business. He didn't like the way Bud did business. And it became less about spinning the block and more about the way Bud was doing business, right? 12-20, Bud announced to the world he was ready for Errol to spin the block. And at that particular point in time, we heard nothing from Errol Spence Jr., right? Which was contrary to what we heard after Bud announced his fight with Errol Spence. It was the same thing. While they were quote unquote negotiating, we heard nothing from Errol Spence. And then as soon as Bud announces his fight with Alexis Rocha, all of a sudden we hear from Errol Spence that he was spinning the block. But why did we not hear anything from Errol Spence Jr. when these guys were quote unquote negotiating? We didn't hear nothing from him when Bud was complaining on Twitter about the way the negotiations were going. Blase squaze, yakety smackety. So there seems to be a pattern of this kind of behavior. So 12-20, Bud announced that he was ready for Errol Spence to spin the block. And once again, like I mentioned before, Errol Spence goes quiet, right? Fast forward 3 months later, we get an announcement from the WBO that Bud Crawford is mandated to fight Alexis Rocha, and he only has 20 days to make the fight with Rocha, right? Which, like clockwork, once again, very consistent behavior from Errol Spence. Right after that announcement comes to play, Errol Spence puts up a little tweet, little emoji, probably a few days later, saying that he's spinning the block, right? Or a little emoji indicating that he's spinning the block. But the question is once again, why did Errol Spence wait for Bud to be tied up to start talking? It's almost like Friday. If you think about Friday, the movie, you think about when Debo pulled up on Smokey, he was like, and then Debo left, and then he said, when Debo say shut up, I'll shut up. But when he leave, I'll be talking again. And that's how Errol Spence kind of been conducting himself when it comes to a Terence Bud Crawford. Once again, he's spinning the block right after Bud is once now mandated to fight Alexis Rocha in a mandatory fight. So the question has to be, why didn't Errol Spence make those kinds of comments in December? Why didn't he spin the block in January or February? Why did it wait for Bud Crawford to be mandated to fight Alexis Rocha in his fight in order for Errol Spence to have any kind of response to Terence Bud Crawford, right? Furthermore, we all remember that the WBC president announced to the world that he sanctioned a welterweight fight to take place at junior middleweight. So is Errol Spence really negotiating with Terence Bud Crawford behind the scenes when he already has a fight literally on the table, prepared, gift wrapped and prepared with Keith Thurman, so much so that he's already went to the trouble to mandate a fight with Mauricio Sulaiman, the WBC president, for 154 that's supposed to take place at 147, right? So are we all supposed to believe that Errol Spence did that for no reason? I don't really think so, right? Costs money to make these kinds of things happen with the sanctioning body, so it's hard for anybody to believe that was done for no reason, not to mention the home cooking that put Keith Thurman in the place to even be a mandatory in the first place, considering the fact that the man beat Mario Barrios, a 140 pounder, and somehow landed himself in a mandatory position, right? Over Boots, over Virgil Ortiz. I mean, something seemed a little suspicious about that particular situation, right? But the biggest red flag is this: the PBC always, and I do mean always, waits for the last minute to announce Errol Spence Jr. fights, right? They did the shit with Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas. Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas was announced on March 2nd. The fight date was scheduled for April 16th. That's approximately a month and a week before the actual fight, right? So that's one example of it. But if we even go back to Spence versus Pacquiao, when that fight was originally announced, that fight was announced on July 13th, when the fight date was actually scheduled to take place on 8/21, right? Which is a month and a week before the fight was actually set to take place. So there's a pattern of this behavior with Earl Spence Jr. fight. They're announced the very last minute, right? And usually with those announcements coming last minute, it leaves room for people to speculate as to what's going on between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford in the background, because on both of these different occasions, when these fights were announced a month before the actual fight, we heard the same kind of talk and chatter as to whether or not Errol Spence and Terence Crawford were negotiating behind closed doors. But it was all for naught at the end of the day, because it ended up just being Errol Spence in the ring with yet another opponent. And that's all we really have to look forward to right here. So in closing, what is Errol Spence doing in the background? Is he waiting on Rocha to announce the fight? I don't really know what exactly is taking so long. But once again, I will tell you there's a history of this behavior. And it's part of the course for Errol Spence Jr. That's my time.
All right, Kwame, you got 10 minutes, man. Timer starts when you start talking. What's taking Errol so long to announce his fight with Keith Thurman? You're on mute, bro. If you're talking.
Sorry about that.
You good. Go ahead.
So no one can say for sure why it is. It's all, it's all hypothesis of people just making assessments. Because one thing we know about the PBC, for the most part, their business is done behind closed doors, and fights aren't announced until they're actually real. So, um, the theory that I think that makes the most sense is Earl Spence was adamant about never fighting Keith Thurman, and it seemed as if, from Bud ducking him and fighting Avocado, they tried to put the next best thing together, a fight that would yield money through the matchup, a fight that people would pay for the pay-per-view, and you know not go out of business because they bought the pay-per-view. And Keith Thurman seemed to be, the substitute since Bud ducked. But Earl Spence, one thing we know about Earl Spence, when he says stuff, what we noticed that Bud Crawford fans give you narratives full of opinions, like King David just did. But the truth of the matter is, if we look at the stuff that Earl Spence has said, that's what he's done. Errol Spence said that he didn't want to fight anyone besides Terence Crawford at 147 when he was asked who did he want to fight. And that's what he was trying to stick to. But Keith Thurman was thrown in the mix, and he probably didn't want to make the weight. And told Al that he didn't want to fight him and said F Keith Thurman multiple times. And he really wanted to just get the bag and fight Bud. But since Bud went out the back door with all these stipulations, he was faced with Keith Thurman. And the wheels were already put in motion. So it seems to me that what the PBC is doing is trying to make a good business decision and also trying to make Errol Spence happy. And with Terence Crawford, um, you know, being over there negotiating with Golden Boy, what it seems like to me, which makes logical sense, that's not a narrative, the announcement is probably taking long because even today, all over boxing social media, there are rumors of Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fighting possibly Juneteenth weekend on June 17th. And what seems like to me is happening is that they're working the deal out. And they're working and hammering out a deal because they just hammered out a deal with Tank and Ryan Garcia, the same entities. They just hammered out a cross promotion deal. So if anyone's in a good place to actually make the Spence and Crawford fight, it's Golden Boy at this particular point in time. And that seems as if what's going on is there's most likely a package deal going on with Rocha getting a fight. We're most likely going to get a Keith Thurman fight. And hopefully we get a Terence Crawford fight and an Errol Spence afterwards. We don't know. But the announcement, my belief is that Errol Spence is doing what he always said he was going to do, which was spin the block and actually fight Terence Crawford so he could be the best, prove that he's the best welterweight in the world, and also get a big cash out payday. So the announcement is taking a long time because they're just hammering out a successful deal, and hopefully we get the fight that we want.
Okay, all right, shit. All right, KD, it's on you, bro. You got 5 minutes, man. Timer starts when you start talking, bro. You on mute, KD.
Oh, my bad. Sure was on mute. Okay, so the biggest thing that he said that sticks out to me is he said that Bud ducked the fight, but they're working on trying to make a deal. What? Why would you duck a fight only to try to make a deal? That's pretty much the conclusion that you just came to, that I heard from him, that they're working on the deal with Crawford, but Bud ducked the fight so that he could work on the deal for this year. That makes zero sense. But outside of that, just to double or double back on some of the things that I was saying a little bit earlier, as far as what's taking so long, the PBC has a history of announcing fights late. They do this all the time. They do this with all their fights. Their big fights, they announce them a month before. There's several examples. I gave you two when I mentioned Ugas versus Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence when that fight was set to happen. They announced that fight a month and a week before the fight was actually set to take place. They don't give their fans much room to prepare for the fights. That's just that seems to be the PBC template, right? So that's the real answer, you know. And once again, usually by doing this, they can create a lot of anticipation and throw out a lot of smoke screen that they're actually trying to make other fights, right? That other fights, especially the fights that people want to see, like the Bud Crawford fight, they throw out the smoke screen and give people the impression that fights like this are being worked on in the background. But every single time Errol Spence announces a fight with a new guy, or they're working on a fight and we're waiting until last minute, there's always little rumors and these little articles and these little people and these little things coming out that always say that this person and this person are negotiating, and then we just get hit with the bomb about a month before the fight, a month and a week before the fight. Like I pointed out to y'all a little bit earlier, we get an announcement that Spence is in the ring with the guy we thought he was going to fight the whole time, which earlier was Errol Spence, which earlier was Yordenis Ugas, and earlier was Manny Pacquiao. And in this case, it's going to be Keith Thurman. So, and once again, I mean, they didn't apply for special exemption to fight at 154 for a belt that's supposed to be at 147. They didn't do that for no reason. But again, the PBC just has a track record of announcing their fights late. You know, somebody proved me wrong on that, but that's my time right there.
Already. All right, Kwame, you got 5 minutes, bro. Go ahead and offer up your rebuttal to what you heard from KD, man.
Cool, man. So I'm gonna stick to the script, and I'm gonna, rebuttal some of the things that KD said. So, he pretty much opened up stating that, I said that Bud ducked the fight, and now they're trying to get the deal done. Well, I mean, as the entire boxing world remembers, Terence Crawford was out of the ring for over a year after he stopped Sean Porter in his fight, and leading up to fighting Errol Spence, they wanted to get that man a tune-up fight. They didn't want to throw him in. After Ugas got his face broke up in there like that. They knew the shit was real, and they asked for a whole bunch of shit that they never asked for when they were getting contracts with Bob Arum, and they went out the back door and they went and fought a tomato can so they could get a warm up. And then also remember that after that fight, when he was asked by the media specifically, Terence Budrick Crawford was asked specifically in regards to does he want to fight Earl Spence next? The man said straight into the camera that he was a free agent and he was looking to make big fights and holla at me. So all of this shit you talk about, energy being changed. I don't know how much your energy, how much more it can be changed after you just knocked out somebody with some fucking tainted gloves, and then you're asked or after a knockout, do you want this guy you said didn't want to fight, and you said you want to talk about somebody? I'm a free agent. Anybody pick me up so I could get a bag fighting a Rocha, which is what he's doing. But we'll get off of that. Um, and then you said that uh, PBC has a problem with fights being released, dates are being announced late. Terence Crawford and Kell Brook was announced officially like 2 to 3 weeks before the fight. These guys were in training camp, and because your boy Budrick don't like to sign contracts, uh, Bob Arum exposed them for that. Right after that fight, that's what Bob Arum destroyed him in the media and said all the money he lost and how he didn't want Bomac in the room negotiating, and he doesn't. And Terence Crawford don't like to sign contracts. So, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory there. I mean, we don't have to go with any narratives because that shit was all put out in paper, and your boy Budrick said Bob has a good heart and some other shit, and that was that. Okay, so he's talking about. Let's get something else straight. You talk about him talking about spinning the block. This nigga Budrick, first of all, said he wanted to spend the block, number one. And then number two, after he said, he wanted to spend the block, that's when he heard that Errol Spence and Keith Thurman was a possible fight coming up. Until it was a possible fight coming up, this nigga was a free agent. As soon as Earl Spence called him out on Showtime and said all the bullshit he did in front of Brian Custard, uh, then Bud didn't have nothing to say. After he got cooked on Instagram, he wasn't talking about let's fucking run it back right now. He ain't say none of that. But as soon as he had a fight with Keith Thurman, he came out talking about he wanted to spend the fucking block. So, I mean, all the stuff we're talking about here, I mean, are all facts. This is not an opinion or a conjecture. And this is the reason, in this debate and this question talking about announcements, uh, PBC, when they make announcements, they're real announcements, and they're done. With Terence Crawford, there's just a history of a lot of talking about what's going on in the negotiation, during the negotiation, like with Manny Pacquiao, it was 40 million, and he was going to get 10% or 20%. But when PBC announced it, shit just got announced and it was going to happen. So if there's anything to go with people bringing out contracts late, let's just take a look at Budrick, because for some reason, when he gets a pen in his hand and it's time to sign, it's like he doesn't know how to write anymore, unless he's fighting a tomato can where he's minus 800 to fight. So all I'm going to say with that is it's pretty simple to see about announcements and who delays announcements and why announcements are being delayed. When Spence says he's going to do something, it gets done. Bud does all his capping over Twitter and then we see a bullshit tomato can that he's getting ready to sign the fight again.
All right, man. Let's go to the judges. Let me get the poll up, man. Y'all put some hand clap emojis in the chat for round 2. And smash my like button, bro. Smash the like button one time for the one time, bro. All right, let me here we go. All right, let's go to D Free. D Free, who you got winning round 2?
Oh man, this was an interesting round due to the question that was asked. Because it pretty much was both of these guys trying to figure out what was taking Errol Spence and the PBC so long to announce his fight with Keith Thurman. I'm gonna go with KD first, and he pretty much gave a history background of PBC always waiting to the last minute to announce Errol Spence fights. And then he talked about how Errol Spence said he was going to spin the block, but when Bud Crawford finished with his fight, they announced that they was going to fight Keith Thurman at 154. But then Bud Crawford said he was waiting for Errol Spence to spin the block or whatever, and he pretty much said it was just a pattern of the PBC always waiting till the last minute to announce their fights. And then Kwame had his round, and he pretty much said that PBC they always do their business behind closed doors. They don't announce the fight until the fight is made. And he said the PBC is pretty much trying to do a good business deal, and try to keep EJ happy. And they're possibly working on a deal with Bud Crawford because of the little news that came out that they're trying to make a fight on June 17th. And then when we went to the rebuttal round, KD, he pretty much just rebutted his own statement of PBC is just waiting to the last minute to call their fights. He didn't really have a rebuttal round. But Kwame, he came out and he rebutted KD's statement, his open statement. I mean, yeah, his opening statement when he said PBC wait to the last minute, and he said, well, ESPN only announced the Bud Crawford and Kell Brook fight 3 weeks out, and then he talked about how Bob Earl trashed Bud Crawford, saying that he always wait until the last minute to make the fights, and when he had a fight with Manny Pacquiao, he didn't sign the fight. They announced that they were supposed to be making a fight with Manny Pacquiao, and the fight fell through or whatever. So he pretty much said that PBC only announced the fights when the fights are ready to be made. And so I have to give this round to Kwame only because KD he really didn't have a rebuttal round, and so I have to give it to Kwame. I can only go with what I got in front of me.
All right, let's go to Q. Q, who you giving the second round to, man?
I'm gonna get a second round of Kwame. It was cool. I don't know. I think it might have been the question. You know what I mean? It was a cool round. I ain't think they really brought it. You know what I mean? Kwame, I felt like he answered the question the best. And KD, I was kind of lost a little bit. I was kind of lost a little bit on the first round. Following along with it. I felt like both of their rebuttal rounds was cool. But I give it to Kwame. I felt like his round was more full. Gave more context to the question. Yeah, that's that.
Already. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I agree with the judges. Let me get. I forgot to type this damn third question. Let me put the. But a lot of I think they both kind of. And like you said, I hope the question was good, but it seemed like maybe they both kind of got lost around the question. But overall, I thought Kwame stayed on topic just a little bit more, and I got lost. Too. Kind of like you, Q. I was like, okay, where's KD going with it? I thought he had found it for a minute, and then I just lost what he was saying because he was making points that really didn't answer the question that I was looking for. So I agree with the two other judges up here, man. So this is zero guarantee question for round 3, and y'all be sure to vote in the poll. I'm gonna read it here. It says, should Bud have signed? Very simple. Should Bud have signed the contract PBC was offering to fight Spence And Kwame, you gonna go first? Let me just get it up here. On the board. All right, boom. There we go. And save it. All right, then let me get up here. All right, zero guarantee question, man. Should Bud have signed to fight? Should Bud have signed the contract that PBC was offering to fight Errol Spence? We're gonna go to Kwame. You got 10 minutes, bro. Timer starts when you start talking, bro.
Man, is this a real question? Hell yeah, he should have signed that shit. I got so many facts and ways we could prove that, and I'll just go over them. Number one, this is this is the biggest fight in boxing in terms of competition. There's always been a question with this fight because it's two black fighters. It's not a Mexican, a black fighter. So there's going to be a question in regards to how much guaranteed money to give two black fighters fighting each other, and one of the black fighters was kicked off a pay-per-view by ESPN because his numbers were so poor against Amir Khan. They didn't even fucking release the numbers. We have to guess the numbers from that. So when when this guy is coming in and asking for guarantees, he has no data to support that he can even generate that type of money, right? And this is such a big fight that he wants that type of money. Well, then what that basically says is that the money is more important to you than your legacy and the fight, number one. And number two, you're pretty much contradicting how big the fight would be if you're now your own boss and you're able to pay yourself, because that's what bosses do. Bosses aren't waiting for a salary from a promoter. If you were your own boss, like you said 50 times on your Instagram live, then you would have handled it like a boss and got the lump sum of money and paid yourself a fucking guarantee. But that's what happens, when Bomac is running. I digress on that. I'm just gonna say it's just been a pattern of bad business. This was the first fight that he was gonna negotiate as a free agent, and unfortunately, it was the biggest fight in boxing, and he wasn't equipped to sit down with the likes of an Al Heyman, who's had the top grossing pay-per-views, 4 to 5 top grossing pay-per-views in the history of the entire sport. Now, let's slide over to the zero guarantee. Well, this is interesting. Roy Jones and James Toney were the number one and number two pound for pound when they was gonna fight each other. Those two guys gave up a guarantee and took a zero guarantee so they can get paid off the event. Look at that. Two black fighters in their prime, two skilled black fighters in their prime. It was good enough for Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. got a way bigger name during his career than Terence Crawford ever had in his career. So if it was good enough for this guy who ran through middleweight and got all the belts and went all the way up to heavyweight in his career, why isn't it good enough for somebody who is a person who you can't even find positive pay-per-view numbers on? Please, riddle me that, Batman. All right. Secondly, let's talk about good old PBC that we know KD loves to shit on. Well, last I checked, during COVID, during the pandemic, Deontay Wilder had to take Tyson Fury to arbitration to get a rematch on a third fight, which they actually signed a legal contract saying that he was supposed to get that fight. Who was Tyson Fury trying not to trying to fight so he could skip out on the Deontay Wilder fight? He was trying to skip out and fight Anthony Joshua. Guess how much guarantee they were supposed to get for that fight? Well, Eddie Hearn reported it was zero. So you're telling me that two heavyweights will go in and forego a guarantee, right? You got Tyson Fury fighting against a guarantee to fight for no guarantee. And this is a guy who was signed under Budrick's stable, okay? And he was given a bigger contract from ESPN. People thought it was in the hundreds of millions. Bud's getting little money in terms of that. 3.5, 4 million, 5 million. Tyson Fury is getting an additional digit on his millions when he fights for top rank. Yet it's good enough for this guy to go and try to get a zero guarantee and go to court to say, I don't want this big guarantee for Wilder. Please let me fight Anthony Joshua for zero guarantee because I'm going to make so much more money because the fight's going to be huge. There's going to be tickets, and I'm going to get a cut off the merchandise, the food, the pay-per-view, everything. Fuck the guarantee. I'm a boss. But Budrick, who's his own boss, says, "Damn, I want 20 million upfront guaranteed because when I fought Amir Khan, I sold 135,000 pay-per-views or 115,000 pay-per-views. If you do the math on that, that doesn't equal even a gross of over 10 million. The purses were bigger than what they grossed together. So you tell me why he couldn't take a zero guarantee. I mean, it's the same man that was, in the media talking about, the money don't really matter. Spence is asking for 60-40 because he think he gonna lose. If it were me, I just do it because I really got nothing to lose. Shit. After Ugas got his motherfucking face broke and his eye snatched, somebody tucked their fucking tail. That's what happened. Okay, they wanted all kind of guarantees. You know what they said? Let me go get a tune-up. Let me go get a tune-up with an avocado so I can get the ring rust off before I go in there and get my face broke. Okay? So if it was okay for Errol and it was okay for Tyson Fury and it was okay for Roy Jones Jr., why in the fuck is it okay for Terence Budrick Crawford, who sold substantially less pay-per-views than any of those guys? Seems to me that somebody has a welfare mentality, meaning that they want something for nothing. There you go.
All right. All right, KD, it's on you, bro. You got 10 minutes, man. Go ahead and cook up.
Man, this is crazy, man. Should he have signed that? Hell no, he shouldn't have signed that damn contract. That contract was ass trash, man. You gotta be kidding me. He talking about Bud should sign a contract with no guarantee. But you look at every single one of Errol Spence's prior opponents, and now one of them went without a guarantee. All of these dudes got a guarantee. But the guy with the biggest name, the most recognition, the most credibility, the guy with the belt got to take a fight with no guarantee. Make it make sense. Goofiest shit I've ever heard in my life, bro. Right? Excuse my language, man. Right? So
no. Go ahead.
yeah, my bad. But anyway, man. So yeah, bro. Zero guarantee is disrespectful. It really is, especially when a guy's been getting guarantees his entire career, right? Along with all of Errol Spence's other prior opponents have been getting guarantees prior, right? But the biggest kicker about the whole no guarantee situation is this, right? You don't take a fight with no guarantee when you have zero transparency or approval over expenses. It makes the deal that much worse. Right. If you talk about all the fights that went with zero guarantee, the Mayweather fights, Mayweather always had approval over expenses. Those big fighters, Kwame likes to talk about, these dudes always had control over the approval over expenses. But for some reason, the PBC, Al Haymon, Errol Spence, these dudes want to offer Bud Crawford zero guarantee with zero approval over expenses, which makes zero guarantee even more trash than what it already was. But that ain't even it, right? Because if we add to the level of trash that this deal actually was, it was actually built in that Bud was supposed to take 35%, right? And I know he probably gonna ask me, well, who said 35%? Where you get the 35% from? Well, where I get the 35% from is Mike Coppinger, the same guy who reported that that there was no guarantee, which I may add a lot of guys said Bud Crawford, there's no way he would go with no guarantee. He's the same guy that reported the original deal, right? So there's no way he'd be right about everything else, but wrong about that. But anyway, the 35%, in which case Mikey Sean, Danny Ugas, all got more than 35%. How do you explain guys with smaller names, less recognition, less credibility, and no belt getting a bigger split than the guy who actually has the belt, which is the same thing that Errol Spence said he wanted to collect in order to become the undisputed champion of the world? How do you explain Errol Spence putting in less effort to make a fight with Terence Bud Crawford than he spent fighting guys without a belt like Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia at the time, right? But we know you dudes ain't really got the answer when it come to these types of things, right? I know Kwame, he says what he probably gonna say what Bud agreed to everything. That's probably gonna be his argument, something like that, the same generic Earl Spence argument. But the reality is he did agree to everything because Mike Coppinger confirmed it in his tweet when he said that Earl Spence and Terence Crawford agreed to terms, material terms, right? And that lawyers were supposed to be cleaning up legal language, which is what didn't happen, which brings us to the lack of approval over expenses, which is how the fight actually ended up falling through, right? So should Bud sign a contract with zero guarantee and no transparency at the end of the day? I'm gonna let Max Kellerman say it.
It's all the growth. I mean, certainly if you don't have oversight of the books, right? Approving expenses, or certainly at least knowing where all the money's going, no one would ever agree to a net. The fact that Crawford's, you work off the gross. But if you're working off the net, then certainly if what you're reporting is accurate, then Crawford would be out of his mind not to insist on that. And you're telling me that that's what's holding it up, that Al Heyman, who's advising Errol Spence, is not giving Terence Crawford oversight over expenses or giving him transparency to the books, of the books. He's not letting him take a look at the books. And that's why Crawford won't sign, because that sounds to me, Mike, like a duck.
A duck. Max Kellerman agrees with me, agrees with the rest of the world. But I know Kwame not gonna agree with me. The Earl Spence fans in the chat hating, they ain't gonna agree with me. But the fact of the matter is this: should Bud Crawford sign this contract with zero guarantee, no approval over expenses, and 35%? Should he have signed that contract? Hell no. Hell no. That's my time. That's my time.
All right, Kwame, you got 5 minutes, bro. 5 minutes for your closing argument. Go ahead.
Man, yeah, this is gonna be a clean sweep. So, all of this to me is very interesting. Like what he's talking about with all this ducking and everything that's going on. Terence Crawford fought on ESPN. Max Kellerman works for ESPN. Bob Arum chooses who the boxing commentators are who commentate ESPN fights. Why would Max Kellerman say anything against Terence Crawford? I mean, number one, so you acting like Max Kellerman some unbiased, credible source that we should all be listening to when he's an employee. Number one, all right. When we look at what Terence Crawford has done to get a zero guarantee, I mean, I just did the math. First of all, the only reason it's a big money fight for Terence Crawford is because Errol Spence is in the fight. How come all the other fights he fights it aren't big fights? He doesn't. The arenas are small. And the fight against Sean Porter, they only put 13,000 people in the arena, 12,000 people in the Mecca, in Vegas, and Mandalay Bay. That's a boxing town. Errol Spence fought Sean Porter in the Staples Center, which is now the Crypto Center in California, which is a place where normally you send Mexican fighters there for the crowd. And they sold almost 20,000 tickets, and they did 350 pay-per-views while Terence Crawford had Errol Spence, his same opponent, in the Mecca of boxing in Vegas, and fought him and had 13,000 seats and 135,000 pay-per-views. Well, there's one thing that is a universal truth, and that's called math and numbers. And that was Terence Crawford's highest grossing pay-per-view, which was with Sean Porter. Now, I was even generous to Terence Crawford, and I gave him $75 per ticket for the 135,000 tickets that was sold. And this is gross. This ain't just what he gets. This is the gross. That's $10,125,000. Where is Terence Crawford have the nerve to go ask for $20 million guaranteed when he's never sold anything remotely close to that? So what bosses do is they bet on themselves, and then they get the bag and pay the employees. And when it was time for Terence Crawford to bet on himself, which was signed a zero guarantee, which is the same zero guarantee Errol Spence was signing as well, and he was okay with it because he saw the projected numbers, he could have just signed. Right? It was good. Everything's good for everybody else. Roy Jones, Tyson Fury, James Toney, but it's not the same business. It's not good for Terence Crawford, where he has factual data that shows that he's a walking business loss in boxing. Adrian Broner can't even get a fight on BLK Prime because Terence Crawford fucked the money up. But now you want this guy to sit around and not get a fucking guarantee. Nigga, you get $0 and you eat what you kill. You're not going to put us Showtime and us good business people out of enough money for a house in Beverly Hills. You won't do that over here. You can do that to Bob, but you won't do that over here. So a zero guarantee for this guy, it was a great deal because he got skills, and all he needed to do was bet on his skills. Because it ain't like Blair Cobb and Adrian Broner is going to say some shit during the press conference to make
that's
people want to try to fight.
That's time. That's 5 minutes, bro. That's time. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, KD. Your last round, bro. Offer up your rebuttal. Timer starts when you start talking, bro. Get on mute, bro.
My bad. Players mess up. Anyway, let me rebut some of the things that he said, man. He said the first thing he opened up with is he said that Max Kellerman works for ESPN. And of course, that's why he would say what he said about Bud Crawford. But the fact of the matter is, when he made those statements about Bud Crawford was no longer with Top Rank and ESPN. So what the hell reason would he have to cap for a guy that ain't even on his network? Make it make sense, right? He also mentioned some things from the first part of the debate where he said something about Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and how they agreed to no guarantee. But last time I checked, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, when they were negotiating that fight, that was a 50-50 split, unlike what they offered Bud Crawford, which, if I recall correctly, was 65-35. So I wonder what Kwame would have to say about that, right? The other thing he mentioned, he said something along the lines of Bud not doing pay-per-views, you know, the stereotypical Errol Spence fan rhetoric, right? But I wonder, did your Dennis Ugas do pay-per-views? Did he sell pay-per-views? I mean, was he a pay-per-view seller? Was Danny Garcia a pay-per-view seller? Was Sean Porter a pay-per-view seller? Because if I recall correctly, the first pay-per-view they did was with Errol Spence. So they had no history of pay-per-view, selling out stadiums, or even barely doing main events prior to an Errol Spence Jr. fight. But somehow, some way, these dudes were able to not only get a guarantee, which is something Bud Crawford has been trying to get, but they were able to get a higher split at 40% and even 50% than a Terence Bud Crawford. So I'm just trying to figure out how that works, right? Let me see what else he said, right? He said that Terence Crawford fucked up the money for Adrian Broner, but I would really love to know his sources for that, right? What are his sources? Because I ain't reading nothing like that on no article. I ain't hear nobody post nothing like that. Somebody send the link for where Kwame heard this. Is it facts or is it conjecture? a lot of what a lot of Errol Spence fans like to do. Spout out conjecture, nonsense, right? Because he can't validate or substantiate that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But let me go further, right? Because the biggest thing I got to go ahead and address is this $20 million that Bud Crawford was offered. I just want to know, where in the hell on any publication or any article anywhere across the cosmos, the highways and the byways, where in the hell can anyone confirm that Bud Crawford was offered $20 million? Because if I recall correctly, Bud Crawford went live on his Instagram and said he was never, and I do mean never, offered a guarantee. So Bud Crawford saying he was never offered a guarantee versus Kwame and his mythical sources that he found under a table or under a branch somewhere, somehow confirming that Bud was offered $20 million. Somebody got to make it make sense. Bud said that he was never offered a guarantee. Much more credible source. Therefore, I'm inclined to believe Bud Crawford over all the rhetoric that I'm hearing out of Kwame's mouth. But in closing, I'm just going to say this, bro. At the end of the day, the contract was trash, right? No guarantee was out of the question for Danny, Mikey, Sean, Ugas, right? All them guys got more than 35%. All them dudes got a better deal than Bud Crawford, but the question is why, right? And if that deal didn't work for them, why did it work for Terrence Bud Crawford? That's my time.
All right, man. That's the end of the debate. Put some hand clap emojis in my chat. Get this shit right. Put some, you know what I'm saying, some hundreds. Put all that shit, man. Let these brothers know that they did their thing tonight. Let's go to the judges' queue. It's on you, bro. Who you get this round to, man?
Man. This is probably the closest round and the best round. While I'm looking at my notes, I see Kwame made good points. In the first round, I think it was good. I felt like a few statements he kind of contradicted himself in saying like black fighters don't sell or whatever, and then saying Al Heyman put on the biggest fights, or and stuff like that. So I think that kind of went against, but I like that. I like the point that he brought up Roy Jones and James Toney and asked why would Bud feel like he was above that. I feel like that was a real good point. I never heard nobody bring up before. KD, I like his round as well. Pretty much saying the reason why it wasn't really the guarantee, it was the approval over expenses. Him having the Max Kellerman thing, that was cool. I think Kwame came back in the rebuttal, man. That shit was good, man. Smooth, really good flowing. And KD came back with a decent rebuttal. Kind of putting away a couple things, bringing up the Mikey, Sean, Danny, them never being on pay-per-view and things like that. Man, real close, man. I might have to get that round. I might have to get that round to Kwame. Probably off, be honest, that Roy Jones, James Toney statement. Now, and the statement he came with it is the money more important than the legacy. I felt like that was good, man. So I gave that round to him. Close.
All right, D3, who you giving a round to, man?
Oh man, this was a good round. This was the best round of the whole night. They both came out swinging in their opening round. In the third round, they both came out swinging. Kwame came out and he put up there the fact that Roy Jones and James Toney had a zero guarantee, which was something I didn't know as well. And then he put out there that AJ and Tyson Fury had agreed to a zero guarantee, and those guys has a bigger name. All four of those guys have a bigger name than Bud Crawford. And he was like, if it was good for them, it should have been good enough for Bud Crawford. But then KD came out and he was saying a zero guarantee. And he brought up it wasn't really so much about the money. It was more so about the transparency and the approval. And I like the little clip he played from Max Kettleman. And then Kwame came back with his rebuttal round. He had a strong rebuttal round. And KD came with a strong rebuttal round as well. And I'm gonna give this round to KD simply because his rebuttal round. I liked his rebuttal round. He came strong. If he came strong like this throughout the night, he probably would have got a couple of more rounds from me. So I'm gonna give this one to KD. He had a strong rebuttal round.
Hey man, look, let me get these super chats. Shout out, and then I got my vote. Shout out A1 Who's On with the $5 super chat says the answer is yes. That's my time. Thank you. A1 Who's On with the $5 in the super chat again says he wanted a guarantee of no hooks, no body shots, no coming forward with smart pressure. You can't beat 147. He got to show up 137 and can't look Bud in the eye. And then shout out to our new channel member Chris Eastern. And then shout out to Timothy A. Akbar, the third with the $2 super chat says KD, you won a debate for me on a Spence channel. Shout out to Timothy A. Akbar the third. Look, man, y'all know how we do, bro. I was vibing, bro. I was with it. I was going hard. I was with Kwame. I was like, Kwame, you doing your thing, bro. Then he said that BLK Prime and Adrian Broner point that was false. And I was like, all right, Kwame, I can still give you the round, bro, as long as KD don't bring the shit up. But he bought the shit up and he caught it. And so I gotta stick to my judging of, bro. If you say some shit that ain't true and the other person catch that shit, I gotta give it to KD, bro. I thought Kwame round overall was better, bro. I thought it was better, but you can't just make shit up, man.
Yeah, that was a joke.
All right, man. Hey,
that was a joke.
Hey,
I guess you guys will get my sarcasm. That was a joke.
Yeah, I didn't get the sarcasm, so my fault.
I ain't hear no LOLs at the end of that.
But the last judge busted out laughing when I said it was a joke.
I busted out laughing because it was funny.
No, it wasn't
I was laughing at this shit, man.
Yeah, it wasn't
when you said it, I busted out laughing.
It was a joke. I was like, this nigga fucked the money up so bad. AB can't even fucking fight over there. I mean,
I got you, bro. That shit. I got you, man. But I got
literal. Golly,
I did, bro. I did. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I did, bro. And so that for that reason alone, I did get a third round to KD. So Kwame is pissed off at knockout. He'll probably call me. I'll probably get a text because he didn't get his 3-0. He got the W, but Kwame want all the smoke and he want all the food, and he feel like, you know what I'm saying, he should have got the 3-0. So I'm probably gonna get a text or a phone call. Kwame, don't cuss me out, bro.
You good? I'm just reading the comments, bro. He didn't win the debate. It wasn't a 3-0. What is this guy talking about? Drink more water.
Hey man, leave the Bud fans alone. We love them too, man. We love the Bud fans. We love everybody. We love all the fucking
damn. Man. I said that shit to be funny, bro.
It's people saying KD. People saying KD 3-0.
Y'all left a lot of meat on the bone. Y'all left a lot of meat on the bone with that last round. Y'all left a lot of meat on the bone in that last round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a great debate, though, man. Let me get y'all last words, man. Let me go to Q. Q, let everybody know what you got going on, man.
Oh, man, I got a lot going on, man. Shit, I'll be going live. I'll probably be going live either probably this Sunday. You know what I mean? I'll go live every Sunday, 10 o'clock. Every Monday, 10 o'clock, I do old school boxing, rewatch classic fights. Some fights you may have seen, some fights you might have. You know what I mean? I do that every Monday, and this month, all month during Ramadan, we gonna be doing celebrating on Mondays. Nothing but Muslim fighters. So that's Muhammad Qawi, Saad Muhammad, all that. So we're gonna be celebrating the Muslim fighters all throughout. You know what I mean? So yeah, subscribe, tune in, appreciate it. Appreciate KO for having me judge. You know what I mean? Let me grace the panel.
Yes, sir. They want you to drop your link too, bro. Drop your link to your channel on the way out, bro. Appreciate you, dog.
All right, bet.
All right, bet that up. All right, D Free, man, give me your last words, man. Don't turn your camera on though, cause don't nobody want to see that Washington shit.
Hey man, I appreciate you having me up here. This was a good debate. This was a good debate. I took a break on going live because I'm in the process of moving. As soon as I get everything settled, I'll be going back live Monday and Thursdays. But yeah, y'all can catch me sports matchups underscore D free. And I'll be doing boxing and I do NFL as well. But I'll be going back live probably the week after May 1st. The week after May 1st, I'll be going back live again. But I appreciate it. Y'all brothers did a good job up here though.
Yeah, facts, bro. Facts. Always appreciate you, D Free. I'll catch you next time, dog. We'll
All
have you
right.
back on the stage soon. I'll be hitting you up, man.
All right.
All right, man. Peace out. Hey, man. Shout out to the right side. Y'all go check him out. He's going to be doing the post debate show to recap the debate. So y'all go check him out, man, and subscribe to his channel. There go Q channel right there. Lost Art of Boxing, the lab. You know what I'm talking about? Let me go to my boy KD, man. Boxer Die in the building. Bro, let everybody know what you got going on when you gonna go live so I can come over there and, you know what I'm saying, piss off everybody on your panel, man. Talk to me.
I salute you, knockout, man. You ain't got no problem pulling up on the panel, boy. Every time you see your boy live, man. So yeah, you got that thick skin, but you know what I'm getting over here, knockout be getting over on my channel too. So it's all good, bro. But yeah, man, I ain't got no live schedule yet, man. We working on that. We working on submitting that live schedule, man. But y'all check out the channel, man. We try to post videos, maybe at least 3-4 videos a week. You know what I'm saying? I've been kind of consistent with that. So y'all pull up. And man, he was also capping about that 20 million too, man. I still ain't getting no source for that 20 million. That was capped too, KO. So you know what I'm saying? Not just the not just the goddamn thing he said about AB. That 20 million was capped. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, hey, anybody out there, man?
We gotta have you back to debate something other than Bud Crawford, bro. I feel bad for you coming over here debating Bud all the time, man.
Hey, it is what it
gotta
is.
have you do something else, man. But nah, you a goddamn soldier. And he'll do what a lot of y'all won't do. So shout out to him. But man, y'all go sub to y'all go sub to KD, sub to Boxer Die, bro. Not just on some Terence Crawford shit. That man, he knows boxing, bro. He got a lot of great content over there, bro. But I appreciate you, man, and you know you always welcome. And every time you live, I'm gonna be there, bro. So just whenever you do hit that live button, I got my notifications turned all the way on. I'm coming through the kick, man. So I appreciate you, dog.
Oh, all day, man. All y'all hit that like button, man, on your way out, man. And salute to all y'all, man. Catch y'all next time.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Kwame, don't cuss me out, man. Kwame about to cuss me out. Let me get
good, bro. I mean, it's just
right,
a debate.
man.
It's all love, man. It's just a debate.
Shout out to getting back in the win column. Know how does it feel to get back in the dub? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, that was a clean sweep, man. But like I said, that was meant to be a joke, you know, to get you guys to laugh. But I should have said it was a joke. But
joke with the facts, bro. Like joke with the facts. You know what I'm saying? Joke.
I was just like, this nigga fucked the money up so bad. AB got to sign with Don King. Like I was just trying to show a pattern, you know.
I got you.
You know, but
that's me.
All good.
My sense of humor is fucked up. I guess I'm fucked up. I
mine's
blame myself.
But so salute to him. He put up a good fight. He just didn't have the right person to fight for. It's kind of tough when you could just stand on facts and one side has to stand on narrative. But he did a great job. So salute to him. Man, it's tough in these streets, man. Like I ain't a person to talk about judges, but I'm like, bruh, it was paining people to say Kwame won the round. I mean, that was kind of weird to me, but I appreciate. That's how I know I destroyed him because I saw the pain from people when they were reading their shit. Like, but you know, I lost the first one with homeboy, and I clearly showed that, you know, the brother said that Rocha was Blair Cobb. Rocha was the underdog. And he still gave him the first round. You know what I'm saying? After he repeated it. So, but it's all, you know, it's all good. It's a tough crowd. And I just appreciate you guys. I appreciate being able to be on the channel. Like I always said, you got
Yes, sir.
something special. And you know, I'm just glad I was able to come out with a W tonight.
Already, bro. I appreciate you, man. Y'all go sub up the Lord to the Game Boxing Talk. Take it easy, bro, and be safe out there. I'll see you next time.
You too, brother.
All right, peace. All right, look, man, we got a debate set up in the chat. I don't know if y'all saw it, but we got Get the Smoke versus John Norrie coming up next Wednesday night. So y'all stay tuned to the channel for updates on that. I got my debate against Ben Israel. You know what I'm saying? Going down on Monday night. So y'all be tuned in for that. I'm stepping back in the ring. We're gonna do what we do. And J Rod's Level Up Boxing say ain't get back to bro, been meaning to, but ain't even had time to drop my own videos. But truthfully, we got to debate something else. This Bud debates becoming overkill. We can debate whatever you want, J Rod. You just let me know. BF say he not showing up. He said he is. If not, then we'll just have a fire ass show. Y'all know how we do. We keep a backup plan. You know what I'm talking about? We'll just have a fire ass show plan. I'm still waiting on them damn then whatchamacallit, I'm waiting on them questions from him. He ain't sent me the question yet. But Ben Israel, he'll be here, and hopefully, you know, we can get it popping, man. But other than that, bro, everybody enjoy the rest of your night. Shout out Miss Knockout Boxing, BFTB, Sheena, DP Rocker, AJ64, Drink More Water, Big Ray, all the new channel members that signed up. Appreciate y'all. Dre's fine. Since you signed up, go check out the prediction videos. We got 6 prediction videos up this week for the channel members already. And I got 2 more dropping tonight that's uploading right now. The Chris Colbert, Jose Valenzuela upload, and the Cody Crowley versus who Cody Crowley fighting, bro? Abel Ramos upload. They both uploading right now, so y'all be sure to check those out. Join the channel and become a member if you want access to the predictions. You know, I ain't bragging on them, but that prediction record is right there at the bottom of the screen. It's a damn good one, man. We be getting a lot of them right. I'm trying to be so good. I'm trying to get 600 right before I get to 100 wrong, bro. That's the goal. So I got to get another like 73 right before I miss 7. And we're going to try to pull that shit out, bro. But, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all watching, man. Hit the like button on the way out. Thank you to everybody that donated in the super chat. Terrence Best Videos, I see you in the building, man. You know, you can come by and get it anytime you want, bro. You just let me know. You know what I'm talking about? But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night, man. Appreciate y'all. And with that, we out of here. Peace out, man.